Are we?
Make sure I didn't block it. Yeah.
Are we hot mic?
Yeah, we're hot mic.
Hot mic? We're live.
Hot boys in the hot mic club.
Sorry, the guys are late to the podcast. They'll be here shortly.
Hey.
What?
Hot boy summer. No, just
Cold boy winter.
yeah, it is. It is a cold boy winter.
Man, it's gonna be up to it's gonna be back up to in the 80s by Friday.
Man, don't tell me that.
It's so
I
stupid,
was digging this fucking
dude.
outside shivering.
I'm calling it. Everybody's gonna be sick as fuck next week.
Not
Yeah,
me.
I believe it.
That ain't me.
I already
That
got
ain't
it.
me.
I already got it out of the way. So
I ain't never sick.
I didn't know where to even go with that. But all right, let's start the episode in 3, 2, 1. Yo, 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 and hello and welcome to Game Speak Podcast. New episodes go up for free feed subscribers every Wednesday in audio format on Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, Google Play, Spotify, and all of your favorite podcast platforms, as well as in video format on YouTube so you can see us in stunning HD. Where we need you to hit subscribe and click that notification bell. We are streaming live every Monday at 7:50 p.m. CST on twitch.tv/GameSpeakPodcast, facebook.com/group/GameSpeakPodcast, and on YouTube if you want to catch the show as it happens before anyone else. Be sure to go ahead and join our ever-growing community in the GameSpeak Podcast Discord at dsc.gg/GameSpeakPodcast to hang and talk games, battle and catch Pokemon, get show updates, find friends to play games with, and so much more. This show is three. This show is three BFFs bringing you the hottest video games news of the week, not the games. But I'm one of your hosts, Jamel Al Jafra, alongside Brent Bass and David Mail.
Ooh. That almost sounded like you
There's some
said Davim.
David Mail.
It's definitely top 3 of butchering of my name.
No, David Mail. I think it's a French accent, I guess.
Yeah.
David.
Oh, Devon.
This is just slowly devolving into
Devolve.
just sounds. guttural sounds.
But anyways, what's been up, boys?
What's up, guys?
Chilling, man. Just been doing a lot of working. I went to the casino with me mom.
Me, mom?
Brent,
Me
we're
and
gonna
me
have to have a
mom.
talk about your gambling addiction. soon.
Well, no, hang on.
He's like, hold up.
I had a slew of free hotel stays at the casino.
That's how
So
they
it's
get
just
you.
it's financially irresponsible for me to not go to the casino at least 3 times this month.
It's fair. That's fair.
You know?
Yeah.
And also, let me also tell you this, okay?
Tell me.
I won that award that I talked about back in the day, like the slot machine tournament or whatever.
Yeah.
And they gave me like the $300 gift card for the steakhouse, right? But the steakhouse wasn't open that day, so I had to go back so I could take
before it
my mom
expired.
to the steakhouse. You know what I mean? Which was fantastic.
How was the steak?
What
well,
steakhouse?
okay,
was it?
first of all, I gotta tell you the whole steakhouse story, right?
Oh, shit, there's a story.
So we get there, and I'm like, I go up to the steakhouse, and I'm like, I've
Yo,
got
give me
this.
a steak.
I've got this. Basically, I just had a piece of paper that was like, you win $300 to the steakhouse.
And they're like, fuck no, get out of
And
here.
I'm like, hey, I got this fucking piece of paper that I won, and they're like, take it over to the Advantage Card Club, and I was like, okay,
It's
whatever.
ran by the lady from the 90s, like, no, stop smoking
It was
commercial.
actually like a very young woman. I don't know why I made her into that character, but for
Take
me-
it over to the...
Or like
for the purposes
Monsters,
of this story, everybody's gonna talk like that. So, anyways,
Yeah, okay.
so we go over to the Advantage Club place, and I'm like, you know, hey, they told me to come over here with this piece of paper, and they're like, ow. Wow. If you redeem that, we're going to put $300 on your Advantage card. So, like, basically, they put the money on my card, and it's like, I spent, $200 at this super fancy dinner or whatever.
Damn.
But I still had $100 left on my card, and, like, instead of just being, like, a gift card for the fucking thing, you can spend the Advantage money anywhere at the casino other than the, like, slot machines and shit. So
Okay, what'd
so
you
I
buy?
was just, a bunch of bullshit. I got some Starbucks, and, like, I got my
Hell
girlfriend
yeah.
a bunch of, like, cups and souvenirs and shit on the way out. But,
Nice.
it was fun, and I got to spend a bunch of free money, so that's always good.
That's what's up, man.
Hell yeah.
And then, other than that, I've just been working, like, a lot. and then that's pretty much it.
Okay.
What have you guys been up to?
Devin, I mean, you've been gone the longest. What you been up to?
What did I do weekend before that?
I'm sure it was Ren Fair.
Dude, all I do is work anymore. No, it wasn't Ren Fair. No, weekend before last, I didn't really do anything. I was supposed to go to a funeral. That Friday, and then didn't really do a whole lot on the weekend. It was nice to finally just chill. And then this past weekend, and then just during the week, I just work, and more work.
Man.
And then, fucking this past weekend, me and Tate, my brother Tate, we tried to win a costume contest in our Renfest garb on the waterway.
Oh, how'd that go?
It didn't. We didn't win.
Why?
It was still fun. We got people took pictures with us and stuff.
Why?
Because
Who
there are
won?
slutty girls out there that.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Did
Wait.
they
figure.
win? Did they have good costumes?
No, they were just showing skin. Like, yeah.
No.
You should have
I
showed
mean,
skin.
You
Like
can
the-
be slutty and have a great costume at the same
Yeah,
time.
what was that
You know
what
costume?
I mean?
I
It's
think
very
the one that won
possible.
was Jessica Rabbit.
Oh, no, yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's bullshit.
It was just- yeah.
You could buy that at like
It's
Spirit
literally-
Halloween.
And I think like they were doing it off of like how much people cheered, and I think she just had a bunch of friends in the fucking crowd.
Okay.
That's fucked up.
Yeah.
I'm
and-
all for a slutty costume, but just be creative. You
no,
know
it
what I
was
mean?
not. No, and it wasn't even. It wasn't even done that well. Like, yeah.
What's the winner get?
It was like $500 cash.
Son of a bitch.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, that's why me and
Yeah.
Tay were like, all right, bet. Like we went all out with that
Well,
shit.
your guys' costumes were helmets. You should have just got some fake tits, and then you would have won
Yeah, right.
because they wouldn't have known.
Hey, if you want a chance at still winning that money, you should take your costume to fucking Coshada tomorrow. I'm serious. It's a 3.5 hour drive. If you win the contest, you get $5,000 in free play money, so you can sit there and gamble forever with that. And you could easily win several $1,000s back and take it home with you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's actually a good idea.
I gotta work though.
Son of a bitch.
It would be so much fun. I also have to work, unfortunately. Otherwise, I'd be up there in my hot dog costume rolling slot machine. You already know it.
But yeah. Oh, and oh man. So we ended up getting pretty fucked up, right? And yeah,
At the costume contest.
my mom and stepdad don't listen to my podcast. Yeah.
Devin does not drink.
So no, it's not that part. It's the part that I'm. So we got pretty fucked up. For whatever reason, I started ordering doubles later into the night because I was getting drinks for me and Tate, and we ended up blacking out, and we both woke
Both of you?
Yeah.
Somebody get you with that Rohypnol, bro?
No,
Did you get...
no. Just we got ourselves with the
Bro.
whiskey.
You think you're fucking roofied? Their costumes are gone. That's how they just wanted their costumes.
That's what it was.
No, so no, whiskey got us. It was completely our own fault. My fault mostly, actually. But so we wake up at fucking 3 in the afternoon, and we're like, holy shit! We never sleep in. Even if we get really fucked up, we never sleep in that late. And but we got exceptionally fucked up. And I was like, Tate, do you remember? We walk home from the waterway.
It's starting to sound a little bit like Brent's theory here.
No. Well.
We never
So-
sleep this late. I don't remember
Dude,
anything.
fucking yeah, I texted my buddy Kia, who we were with at the bar. He's like, y'all just closed out and walked home, and I was like, damn.
And drank a bunch of GHB.
No, well, I had
Gotcha. It's just like, what?
I had 6 missed calls from Tate at 7 o'clock in the morning, or 6:55, 7 o'clock in the morning.
Was he with you?
I was like, Tate, I was like, why do I have 5 missed calls from you? He's like, I don't fucking know. And I was
There's
like,
just some random creature in the room just dialing Devin.
no.
Did
So
he leave his phone somewhere?
no. So I was like, what the fuck? There was
This
no
is like
way
The
that we could talk
Hangover.
to anybody. So I got the idea. Google Maps shows a timeline of your travels. If you've got Google Maps and you use
I
it
didn't know
regularly,
you could do that.
yeah,
Really?
Google Maps will show you when you leave a place.
Enhance.
Fucking when you go, fucking. So apparently, I walked home. Tate got lost somewhere along the way and fucking slept on the waterway until 6 o'clock in the morning and walked home.
It's honestly the
doesn't-
waterway is a safe place.
It really is, but just the fact that he was in public, passed out somewhere in public, and like didn't wake up till 7, was still blacked out when he woke up at 7 and then walked home because he doesn't remember fucking calling me, walking home, nothing.
That's crazy, dude.
That is crazy,
It's
man.
fucking insane.
I'm starting to fall for. I'm starting to follow the.
But it showed like
the
Google showed it
evidence
like
here.
it'll show like walking and everything like, or if you're driving or walking, and yeah, it said he walked home at fucking 6:55 in the morning.
I don't think I've ever I've been extremely intoxicated before, but I've never been to the point to where I don't remember. You know what I'm saying? That's just like
I have, but like not for that long.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
No,
That's
yeah,
a long time.
Yeah.
You know, I have like when I black out, you know, it's like little patches of like, you
No,
know,
this is the-
just
This is the hardest that I think we both ever blacked out probably. Like it was bad. And like I woke up at fucking 7 to let him in, I think. And I don't remember that. Like that because I think part of the problem too was like we were drinking under our helmets, so we were using straws, and like supposedly that'll fuck you up more, but we were also drinking them a lot faster because of that.
I don't know why, but this just reminds me of the beginning of the SpongeBob movie where they're like getting fucked up on at on the ice cream, and then they walk home like, really fucked up like.
what? I
y'all don't
I don't remember that at
part.
all.
where they go to Goofy Goober, like they go
I
to
remember Goofy Goober, but I don't remember them
They're
walking.
getting fucked up.
they get fucked up off of ice cream, and he's like drunk and he's singing up on stage, and like you guys don't remember
I
this?
legitimately don't remember.
They're
this
drunk
part.
off of ice cream. Then he gets like the 5 o'clock shadow with the big droopy red eyes, and he's just like they're just like saying dumb shit. And, like it's supposed to be them
Okay.
drunk.
Yeah,
Like
partially.
I really don't remember that. That's
no,
weird.
you need to watch the. It's on Prime. You can watch it for free on there.
But yeah, so that was
yeah.
our Saturday night and morning apparently. No, zero recollection. Like
Wow, what
Yeah.
a wild story.
I'm just glad that he fucking made it home safe.
Well, yeah. Well, I mean, like I said, luckily it's the Woodlands and it's the
Yeah.
waterway.
Well,
'cause that
but
place
also
is
like
super chill.
you know, falling into the waterway or
that'd be terrible.
getting found by a cop. Like he
Yeah, both
could
of
have
those
he could have
things
woken
would
up
be
in
terrible.
jail or fucking alcohol poisoning for as much as we apparently drank.
oh yeah,
Like
yeah,
I didn't think about that.
Yeah,
but also,
like-
would they take you to jail for like?
public intoxication
yeah,
in a heartbeat.
Most likely.
Damn, what if you're just like, I was just sleeping, bro?
No.
I mean, they
You-
probably wouldn't like
and
hold
especially
you
not-
in jail for a long time, but
No,
like
they
they'd
put you in the
probably
drunk
let you like
tank and give
sober
you-
up and yeah.
Yeah, you get put in the drunk tank and then you get a PI, like public intoxication.
Damn.
But yeah, and it's the Woodlands too. So yeah, they would absolutely take his ass to jail if they would have found him. But I'm pretty sure he was probably fucking. There's this ramp that we take for like the actual waterway up to our street to go home. There's like this like
Talk
ramp.
about that out the backside, like that leads over to like where my brother lives.
Probably it's like 6. There's like if you're on the actual waterway, like next to the water, like how we walk to get home. There's like this ramp that goes up to Six Pines, like which is
Yeah.
the street I live on, and there's like tall walls that like nobody else is fucking walking through there in those hours of the night. And I guarantee that's where he fucking slept, either that or on the Marriott's, in one of the chairs at the Marriott.
The only way the story could get crazier is if he woke up and he had like a note in his pocket and then like $4,000, and it just like.
But yeah, just super glad he's safe. I kind of feel like a piece of shit for being too drunk to realize that I left my brother somewhere along the fucking trail.
That's like he's fine. He lived.
Yeah.
You guys have a story now.
Yeah, but we're not going to tell anybody except, well, I mean,
We
know,
just
Except for
told
the whole
everybody.
world.
no, mainly just don't want the parents to know. 'Cause
Yeah.
anytime we tell our mom shit like that, she's like, don't fucking tell me shit like that. Just makes me worry. I'm like, yeah, that's fair.
That's good. That's
But yeah, that was, yeah.
What about you, Jamel? Can you top that?
so. I drank a lot. No, I'm just
I
kidding.
did heroin.
Whiskey. Get ready for this. No, I'm just kidding. No, but I did not like. Oh, I did go to like a Halloween thing, but not like cool like adult Halloween thing. I went with my nephew and my sisters, and we went to this little like Halloween thing they do for kids in the Woodlands, and like you'd be surprised at how many like characters from our childhood for some reason kids are dressing up as, like Power Rangers. I'm like, do kids
It's
watch?
because our generation is parents now, and they're force feeding all of
That's
their
what I'm
favorite
thinking.
shit down their
Like,
kids'
this kid
throat.
doesn't know who the fuck the Power Rangers are. Why are you putting
No,
this?
well, I mean, Power
He
Rangers
probably
are still
does
very
know.
prevalent.
Dude, okay.
Oh, you talking about force feeding? I thought you meant like they're like, oh, you're going as a Power Ranger. Like, okay,
No,
so you're
they're
saying
probably
they,
like making them watch the Power
Yeah, like,
Rangers.
hey,
Okay,
I
okay.
watched this when I was a
You
kid.
know, and
type
then
shit.
the kids are
Yeah.
like inadvertently just like, oh yeah, fuck yeah, Power Rangers. you
But
know?
even so, I mean, the OG Power Rangers just had like a resurgence too, though. So I
Did
mean,
they?
that's not a crazy one to.
see, I didn't know that. That's
Yeah.
that's what I saw. I saw Billy, like the Blue Ranger. I
oh,
saw
that's sick.
people going as Mortal
Billy was
Kombat
always
characters.
dope 'cause, yeah.
Like fucking everything you can think of
I
from
mean,
our
Mortal Kombat's
childhood.
still pretty big too, though. I don't
True,
know, Jamal.
true.
All these are pretty. No.
Hold on, hold on. There was more. There,
Yeah, give me.
there was lots of
You're wrong. No.
the what's it called, the Nightmare Before Christmas, like, which
Yeah.
I guess you could say that's still around, but it's not like it was when we were
Yeah.
kids.
I'm telling you, it's a product of like the parents watching this shit around the house, and then the kids see it, and they're like, "Oh,
I like
It's
that.
like
Skellington,"
childhood
you know?
movies and shit that are just passed down. now.
Yeah, well, especially with like Nightmare Before Christmas around like Halloween and Christmas, like people from our generation just be watching that shit. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? Like,
And now because of the obvious like resurgence of the Addams family, there's lots of Wednesday Addams everywhere.
oh yeah,
Like everyone was Wednesday Addams.
oh I can
And-
only imagine. That's probably
Yeah.
the new what's it, Harley Quinn.
You
you
know,
know what I'm saying?
these are all little girls, not like the annoying like Harley. But anyways, no offense to Harley Quinn lovers, but
Dude, everybody was Harley Quinn, from like adults to children. Back
That's
in-
such
that
a
was fucking a thing.
For like a solid 4 years.
It
I
was
feel
a
like.
thing, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, my nephew was Spin, which I guess is a Marvel character.
Spin?
Spin, he's a Spider-Man.
Yeah. Well, I heard about this spin. Yeah.
Yeah.
Who is this spin
I-
character?
Wait, is this the girl spot? No.
No, it's the boy.
No, so my, I think
It's this one.
somebody I work with.
It's
was
Miles Morales. He goes by. They call him Spin in Spidey and his. It's called Marvel's Spidey and His Amazing Friends, and it's like a kid's version of Spider-Man, and it's like I
They
guess
call Miles Spin.
Yeah, they call him Spin. Miles Morales.
Just like
is-
a nickname for him or something?
that's just what he's called, and they call Gwen Stacy Ghost Spidey or Ghost Spider. Like
What?
I don't fucking understand, but like okay.
I mean, I'm not.
What's wrong with Spider Gwen? Well, I guess in Miles.
That's
Miles
whatever.
is always just
Every
Spider-Man.
Spider-Man universe has its own quirks, so I'm not like.
Yeah,
mad
that's what
about
it
this,
is.
You know what I mean? Like,
Because it's like in a different part. It's like a different universe, I guess. Spider-Man. So it's like Miles Morales or Spin is one of the two deuterogonists of Marvel's Spidey and His Amazing Friends, alongside Ghost Spider, and then the other one is just Spider-Man, which is like Peter.
deuteragonist. Does that mean you could be a protagonist or an antagonist? What is a deuteragonist? Can somebody please explain this to me? We should never be using words like deuteragonist in a fucking
children's
article
show.
describing Amazing Spidey and Friends. You know what I mean?
Means the person's second in importance to the protagonist in a
Oh.
drama.
Sidekick.
So so Spider-Man is the main guy, but all the kids love Spin for some reason. And I did see some little kids dressed up as Ghost Spidey or Ghost Spider, which I'm just like, that's just like.
I'm glad
Spider-Gwen.
Spider-Man is
Spider-Gwen,
staying
yeah.
alive. You know.
I was like,
love
is it
Spider-Man.
Ghost Spider because she died in the second movie?
Damn, dog.
That's my question. Like, why is she Ghost Spider? But anyways, yeah, you saw a lot of that. And
ahead.
no, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say I actually just watched the second.
Andrew Garfield one.
No, across the Spider-Verse.
Oh yeah, pretty good.
Yeah, really good.
Did you go back and watch the Amazing Spider-Man or no?
No,
Oh, okay, I thought you were gonna say you did it.
no, I need to, but I didn't.
But yeah, so I went and did that with him. It was pretty fun to see all the different costumes and whatnot.
Was there some Star Wars in the mix?
There was this older like Indian guy. He was probably like 40 or 50, and he had this like legit, like I'm talking like legit fucking like Jedi cloak and
robes,
like
yeah.
robe and all that shit, and like
Hell
his
yeah.
little kid had like the shitty Walmart version of it. And I was just like, bro.
He's gonna grow out.
I
of
know,
in
but
a
it was
year.
just funny to see. He like came in, he's just like fucking legit, dude. And he's got like the metal like lightsaber and all that shit.
Damn,
And
he didn't even get his kid a cool lightsaber.
his son would just like came walking up in the knockoff like Walmart version, and then like with like a little like shitty plastic
telescoping.
Man, that's some
lightsaber.
bullshit, dog.
Hey man,
At least get your kid a cool lightsaber.
I mean, how old? If he's like super young,
He's
though,
probably
you're just
like
gonna break that shit.
probably 5 or 6. Yeah. No,
You're not gonna buy your son $150 lightsaber.
Bro, go on Temu, spend $20, get a fucking
Did you hear about the
lightsaber.
class action lawsuit with Temu?
No.
Oh yeah, apparently just that app
If
is.
you or a loved one has used Temu in the past 20
No, it's
everything
it
is
is
filled with asbestos.
just chock full of malware.
What?
Temu is chock full of malware.
Like the website.
No, the app, like if you use Temu at all, it's like just there's so much malware attached with it.
Well, it hasn't malwared my phone yet.
Yeah.
What does it mean? Like,
It
what-
just collects all of your data, everything.
oh, I don't give a shit.
Yeah, I mean,
Collect
dude,
that shit,
if
dog.
you have a TikTok, all of your
If
data
it
is
gives
gone.
me better
Yeah, I got a
suggestions
TikTok.
for things to buy on Temu, then bring it on.
That's
dude.
what they do. Yeah, they just use it to
Yeah.
funnel
As
back.
long as you're not giving my fucking computer a virus or something, you can use my data. I don't give a shit, dude. You know
I mean,
what
back in the
Like,
day, that used to be a virus, though, getting all your information.
Yeah,
it's
but
kind of funny.
now
I'm
corporations
just not
do it.
important enough, dude. Like,
Yeah.
what are you gonna do with my information? Like, pfft, have fun.
You wake up
know?
tomorrow, it's like, have you seen this man? no, but yeah. Anyways, did that, and then I started watching Jujutsu Kaisen again. Like I've already seen the first season, but I was like, okay, I'm gonna go back through it now that I'm not hot off of Hunter x Hunter. Because like the first time I watched it, I literally watched it right after Hunter x Hunter because everybody was like, dude, you'll love this if you like Hunter x Hunter, to like get out of that post Hunter x Hunter depression or whatever. And I just couldn't get into it. Went back. It's pretty good. It's not like, oh, dude, I fucking love this. But I watched that, and then I watched the Zero movie, like the in between movie.
Dude, the animation for the Zero movie was really good.
It's really good. The animation's great
I
all
love-
around.
Yeah, it feels good on the eyeballs.
But yeah, I'm gonna start season 2 this week and see
Dude, the
how it
first
goes.
half of season 2 is like there's a stark change too. The poor staff probably got really tired. But like the first half is one story kind of, and then the second half of season 2 is another story, or like continuation really.
Oh, I hate when they do shit like that.
Yeah, but it's some good back filler like on like shit that you don't really know about.
That's the kind of shit that ruined Attack on Titan for me, dude. I just stopped watching.
This
it
isn't as
altogether
confusing
over
though.
that shit. Like,
No, this is a very apparent like, okay, we jump back to tell this story.
I'm like cool with you jumping around a little bit, but don't like spend a whole season away
Yeah.
from like the
No.
fucking main characters and shit. You
That's
know
what
what
the
I
still,
mean?
movie was
it's
for.
still on the main characters though.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no, it's still it's like it's based
Some
around
animes
Gojo.
be doing that though. They just go off on a whole different fucking path. Like it's just
No,
Yeah, it's like if you were reading a book and then halfway through the book a whole nother book starts, and then like you pick, like after you like get to the 100th or second 100 page, it goes back to the first book.
Yeah.
And you're just like, wait, what the fuck is happening?
No, so it jumps back and tells the story of Gojo and the main villain Geto, Geto.
Yeah,
It tells their back.
Geto.
Ghetto?
yeah. His name is Ghetto. Ghetto's the
From
He can
the ghetto.
spawn. He can like collect demons and shit, and then just spawn them at will.
That's tight.
wait. Oh, you're talking about the evil guy.
Like,
Yeah,
Yeah,
but like,
Geto,
but he
yeah.
was a jujutsu sorcerer.
Gato. I think it's because the E is like the
Is it
A.
Gato?
I think
Yeah.
it's Gato.
Ghetto.
But no, it's dude, like some of the best fucking animation I've ever seen for an anime, like is in that first half of season 2, and then it changes, but it's still decent.
Yeah, I don't think there hasn't been anything as like hype happening. Like I don't know. I'm waiting for something like really intense to happen. Like I know he's got to eat all the fingers or whatever. I kind of want to see what happens with that, but I can already tell you he's not gonna die. That's for sure. Like just like, they're not gonna kill him. The main character, you know what I'm talking about? How he's like set up for to be
Sukuna's vessel or whatever.
yeah, well, they're gonna
Or
execute him,
Kus-
right? So they just
Right when
postponed his execution.
Right when he consumes all of them.
Yeah, that's
yeah, I
that's
mean,
not gonna
yeah.
happen. Yeah, I don't know. I just want to see how he wrote out the ending, because it's gonna be hard to have like a satisfying ending with this story. I feel like, or at least that's my dumb brain
feel
can't
it.
come
No,
up with a good ending.
Yeah, I feel like it's gonna. I don't know. I feel like I think he might die.
Oh, dude, see that could be cool, but I don't know. I don't think it's gonna happen because he already died and then came back. You know what I'm saying? Like they're not gonna do it
Oh, yeah.
again. It's like he dies and comes back in like the first episode, like just immediately, and then you're like, oh no, guy, I don't know that much yet, so I'm not really caring. But anyways, pretty good though. That's it though. That's all I've been doing. You guys want to get into currently playing?
Yeah.
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 So I did play something different this week for once.
What'd you
Oh.
play?
Dead Space remake. I've been
Oh,
playing
you
that.
played it.
It's
did
on-
You,
it's
did
a-
you finish it or did you?
No, I'm like 3 hours in.
Now, did you play the original Dead Space
No.
back in the day? So this is your first ever experience with Dead Space.
No, okay. Let me give a little backstory. I bought Dead Space on the 360.
Right.
I played like 10 minutes of it, and I was like, I'm good. You know, like, I just wasn't in the mood. Like, because I had just beat BioShock back then, and like I didn't want to go back into another horror like story focused game.
Yeah.
And so I put it down, never played it again. I knew it was good. People talked about it, but I had a Wii as well. And on my Wii, I got they had like a Dead Space game on it, but it was like a on rails shooter,
Right, I remember
with like a
that,
story
yeah.
and everything. And I played through all that, so I knew about the marker and like all that stuff, like the story behind and the lore behind Dead Space. So that's my background with Dead Space. Is that now? I was gonna play Dead Space on Game Pass because you could already play the old one on there for a long time. But then when this one came out, I was like, it's gonna come to Game Pass. I know it will.
Yeah.
And here it is.
And
Oh,
I
yeah.
think what's cool is when you're done with it, I'm pretty sure 2 and 3 are also on Game Pass. So
I'm not gonna play them though because they're remaking those.
Ah.
So I'm gonna wait. I'm just
Okay.
gonna wait.
Probably be a while, but yeah.
I bet you Dead Space 2 remake comes out next year or like towards the end.
I
of
will
next
say
year,
this
or
though,
next one.
despite everything, fucking Dead Space 1 and 2, like the original ones, still hold up really well. Like they're still excellent fucking games. But of course the remake is way better, you know what I mean? But
Oh yeah, I like how the main character doesn't look like a really cool guy. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
he just looks like
He's just a mechanic.
he's
You
just
never
like a random
really-
dude.
you
Yeah.
don't really see his face in the original game, which is interesting because they show his face a lot in the
In
remake.
this one.
You know what I mean?
I mean, it's not that he doesn't look like a cool guy. He looks like a dad. Like whenever, you know who he looks like.
They know their target audience. No, I'm just kidding.
Specifically, he looks like the guy from Dumb and Dumber, like the friend. You know what I'm talking about? Like the not Jim Carrey, but the other guy, like
Oh,
the
yeah.
actor.
Uh-huh.
He looks like that actor in the face, not the hair, obviously, or anything. But like I keep turning around. I'm like, did they base it off of this guy? Because he's been in serious movies. He was in Looper as the bad guy, like all that stuff. So like he's a serious actor outside of Dumb and Dumber, but like he looks just like this guy. I swear, dude.
It totally could be him, you know? Like,
I didn't look it up. I'm dumb. I should have just looked it up. But like I was wondering if you thought the same thing or if you remember.
I didn't think that specifically while I was playing the game, but like now that you
never-
mention it, I could see it. You know what I mean?
What's
Yeah.
his name? Isaac.
In Dumb and Dumber, his name is Harry, and in the game, his name is Isaac.
That makes it sound like it's legit, like based off of Dumb and Dumber. In the movie, he's Harry, but in the game, he's Isaac, bro. It's remake.
That'd be the greatest twist ever. And
At the end of it, yeah.
Space, like Lloyd just
yeah, I
pops
don't-
up, like
I don't
Yeah,
see it.
see
guys.
this face.
Oh, what
Okay.
the fuck? They completely changed his face.
Yeah, this is the new Isaac.
Yeah, because that's the old Isaac.
Yeah, he looks nothing like that.
He
See,
looks completely different in the remake. Why the what?
look up the guy who plays.
Yeah, that was the Isaac that I was picturing. I didn't realize they changed his face entirely in the remake.
Yeah, he didn't look as much of a dad in the old one. He looks like just a normal guy. Like
yeah.
this one.
I feel like the changes they made are way for the better in the remake. Like he looks like much more like a real person. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah, that's what I was saying. He looks real. Like but see, he kind of looks like this guy, Jeff Daniels. Now, hold on.
Yeah, I could kind of see it on the remake face for sure.
yeah,
Like,
maybe a little less pointy of a nose, but like a young Jeff Daniels. Yeah, I could see it.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, I didn't realize they changed Isaac that much in the remake.
Oh
That
yeah,
makes
for
no
sure.
sense.
Yeah, if you're at home, look
Dude,
up.
the remake is fantastic. If you haven't played it, if you got Game Pass, fucking get
free.
on.
No,
that
no, I
shit,
definitely
yeah.
will because I went. I think I downloaded Dead Space, the OG Dead Space, before the remake was on Game Pass and played that a little bit.
It's through EA Play, by the way, so make sure you have that
Yeah,
installed.
yeah.
I'd say that the Dead Space remake is just as good as any of the Resident Evil remakes that come out
It
recently.
is. It's
You
way
know what I mean?
scarier.
Yeah, it's
than the
horrifying.
remakes.
They-
Yeah.
Especially if you play with like
Headphones.
headphones or something where
With
you can get
subwoofers.
like, yeah, it's fucking scary, dude. Because there's
Yeah,
always
Dead
something
Space is
behind you,
terrifying.
like creeping up on you, and like
Well-
you turn around. They play tricks with your mind. Like they'll have you turn around to investigate something, and then something will pop out behind you when you turned around. Like
And everything makes a noise that sounds similar to the whatever they're called.
the monsters
Yeah.
or whatever. Yeah, you'll walk past a pipe that's like
It's
hissing.
like,
yeah.
This is like, why is this pipe screeching?
Dude.
Like,
the fucking babies in Dead Space 2.
oh, they're in the first one.
Are they in the first one?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, when you're going through like the city center or whatever, you go by the.
They made the
It
babies
was like a
hella
daycare.
creepy. In
They
this
are
one,
creepy in this
yeah.
one. They're
Fucking.
yeah.
It's pretty
Yeah, I'll
fun.
definitely have to download that. That's-
Yeah.
It's a good one. It's a good
Okay.
one. I'm
Yeah.
really.
Really pretty.
It's been
they made
so
the
long.
lighting and stuff really good on it. Like
I remember Dead Space 2 more than I remember the first one, so it'll be a good.
Dead
that'll be a
Space
good
2
play.
is also an awesome fucking
phenomenal.
game.
I tried to play Dead Space 3 a little bit.
You know, people hate on Dead Space 3, but I like Dead Space 3 too.
I even saw an article that was the original
maker.
Yeah, they were like, if I could go back, I'd rewrite the whole thing.
Yeah, and I
Yeah.
think they're going to for the new one. He said, basically, like when they reboot it or do the remake version, it's going to be a completely different game.
I feel like Dead Space 3 is a fun way to cap off the series. Like I know it got so much hate and it changed the genre from like a straight up horror game to like
like a
a
shoot-
kind of an action horror game like Resident
Yeah.
Evil 5.
Yeah, everything was doing
You know
that
what
at
I
that
mean?
time.
But at the same time, it felt right because of the like climatic fucking, implications of what was going on in the game. You know what I mean? Like everything happening in the game just made more sense as an action horror experience. And like there was a lot of cool moments in the game that were really scary too. Like it wasn't just like a boring, not scary game. Like there were scary moments still in 3. I don't know, man. People gave 3 a lot of crap, but I like it a lot.
Maybe 1 and 2 just set a like the bar too high.
1 and 2 are definitely like just high octane, like,
Yeah.
freaking balls to the wall, awesome games, 3 definitely doesn't match their energy, but it's still fun.
It came out at a time when Call of Duty was getting too hype, so it's like basically what happened with Resident Evil with 5, it just became a shooter.
Yeah, that's
like,
what I was saying. Like with 3, because they like focused heavily on the weapon system in 3,
and
and
people
tried to do
wanted
all
that.
this like customization
horror.
and shit.
Well, I
Yeah.
think also, there's like a lot of focus on like upgrading your weapons in the first 2 games. It's like the core gameplay of like all of them, But I think 3's big problem was like they were like, okay, for this one, we're not just gonna have the same spaceship setting that we did in the first 2 games, and they tried to do like the snowy planet setting, like The Thing or something, or,
Yeah.
And I don't think that really did them any favors. Like the game was too brightly lit, and like to be as like
Got away from the confined spaces.
it didn't
and
feel
like,
as claustrophic and scary as the first.
got rid of
couple
that feeling
games,
of like,
you know?
oh fuck, I'm stuck in space with
Exactly.
like demons.
Exactly. You don't have that like that just sheer horror the whole time,
Yeah, you're
because of-
isolated. Like
Yeah.
what? How many? Like how far away? It took them 6 months to get there, right, or something like that.
Yeah.
So it's like nobody's gonna come for you for at least 6 months.
Dude,
you
yeah,
know.
like you are the rescue party coming to go for the.
That's the scary isolation of it. But yeah, I got a ways to go on it. I'm trying to beat it all with just the plasma cutter thing.
What?
Like,
Really?
yeah, I don't want to mess with the other guns for some reason. I like the cutter. So
You should at least mess with one of the other guns, because eventually you'll run out of ammo for just the plasma cutter, and you're gonna want to have one of the other guns be not shit.
I have the guns, and I've like I've picked up a couple guns, and I just haven't used them. Like I'm just like I throw the ammo into my
What
storage or whatever.
difficulty are you playing it on?
Normal.
Okay, yeah. Ammo management will become like a critical thing later. So like whatever you find, make sure you're at least saving it somewhere, because you'll want that shit later in the game. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I've been trying to be chill with it. Like I only put like 2 shots on each like of the crawling people, and then I just stomp them to death.
Yeah.
Like I don't fucking waste ammo.
No, that's smart.
Was it Dead Space that has the bolt caster with like the 2 bolts that shoot the line?
Yes.
Yes, I fucking
That
love that
shit
weapon.
is tight.
Yeah, that was one of my favorite. Because like
There's
how
a
they
lot of cool weapons in that game.
how
man.
they ragdolled to the wall back in
like
the
the
day,
one-
like that was you didn't see that shit.
Dude, yeah. I like the one that's like the buzzsaw thing, and it like shoots the fucking like blades out
yeah.
that bounce around. That shit is fucking cool.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Dead Space.
What y'all been playing though?
Well, let's see. I finished Spider-Man, which was fucking crazy, dude. Like, Spider-Man 2 has, like, the dopest fucking story and so many cool character cameos and stuff. And, like, it sets up a third game fucking in a cool way. I'm really excited to see what they're going to do with the third game. So, Spider-Man 2, definitely worth playing. Probably will come to PC pretty soon for all the PCers out there.
Good. I will buy it in a fucking heartbeat.
It's definitely worth it. Especially, I feel like it's just as good as the first game, which was also a really good game. And I feel like if you were to like sit there and play them both back to back, it would be a very satisfying experience. Especially if you jam Miles Morales in the middle, it would just feel like one really long like Persona length game if you just played all 3 of them like back to back. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, it was really good, and like it didn't really change much about the fucking gameplay, but it added just enough to like feel fresh. Like the graphics were really good.
Well, it's like got a fresh coat of paint.
Like I mean, the game was already really good looking, but they added like ray traced reflections to like the water and like just ambient lighting and like some of the better looking rain I've ever seen in a game. Fucking when you're like swinging through the city and the raindrops are like flying past the camera, it's really cool looking. And, like, there's scenes in the game where, like, it'll have a rainstorm or something, and, like, you'll be, like, fighting Venom or something, and, like, the water droplets are just, like, bouncing off your head while you're fighting. It's really neat. Like, it looks awesome. The fucking gameplay is really cool. I like their take on Venom. I think it's probably the coolest take on Venom from any fucking, adaptation of, like, Venom being told in a story. Like, it's a different character, that is Venom.
Yeah, that's what we were talking about.
It's not just your typical Eddie Brock, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Which is really cool.
Were you surprised at who Venom was?
Not very. I mean, after like it didn't take very long to figure it out, and then once it did, they didn't reveal it for a long time, so I wasn't surprised by the time they, made the big reveal or whatever. But at the same time, it was really cool what they did with it. Let's see.
Isn't the bad guy like Craven or something in this one?
So the bad guys are Craven the Hunter and Venom, but mostly Venom.
Okay. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Did you see the trailer for the Craven the Hunter movie with Aaron Taylor Johnson yet?
No.
It looks so cheesy, dude.
Dude.
I gotta say, my only thing about Spider-Man that I didn't like, it's not that I didn't like it, but it just kind of was like, okay, guys, you know what I mean? It was like, they tried really hard to be like just super PC and inclusive, which is awesome, Like, I definitely want that for every game, But like
It's not where it's not needed.
They had this one character who's like Miles' like love interest in the game, right? And she's like this deaf girl, right? And so her and Miles are constantly like talking in sign language, and it's like really cute. You know what I mean? It adds a lot of depth to the story. It adds a lot of character to Miles and this girl. You know what I mean? And their little friend group all talks in sign language to each other, and it's like, okay, that's fun, But then it's like, okay, the amount of people that make an effort to learn American Sign Language just to, like, include this one girl is just, like, unrealistic. Like, literally everybody they come into contact with is, like, doing signs at her and stuff. It's like, okay, you didn't just learn that just for this. Like, okay, and then at the end...
Like her or just random people on the street.
Just everybody,
the villain
dude.
Comes up and he's just like, like just so she can be a part of the evil plan.
You only meet one person the whole entire game that like doesn't know sign language enough to talk to her, and
they get shunned.
So they like text with each other, but like fucking at the end of the game, like Miles is like, has her over for dinner or whatever. Sorry, this is a little bit of a spoiler, but it's not like too big of a deal. This is like one of the scenes at the end of the game. Like everybody's happy, the world's saved or whatever. Miles is like has this girl over for dinner, and like fucking the mom's doing the sign language to the girl. I'm like, okay, that's cute. The mom learned the sign language. Like everybody up to this point, I'm like, okay, that's cute. The mom learned the sign language. Then the mom's boyfriend shows up for dinner, and like it's like knock 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 on the door, and like the door opens, and he's like, oh, hello everybody, with the sign language. I'm like, okay.
How did he even know?
This guy knows it too? Like, did she call him on the phone? Like, quickly learn sign language before you come over here. Like, I don't know, man.
It's a whole language.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's not that easy to just learn sign language. You know what I mean? Like,
no, dude, that's pretty funny though. It's like. It starts out and it's just like, Miles knows it and you're like, oh, that's pretty cute.
Yeah.
And then like she's walking down the street and then the guy selling hot dogs knows it and you're like, oh, well, that's kind of cute.
Wait a minute.
That's kind of cute too, I guess. And she's like driving in the car and then like the bus driver going the opposite direction is like.
The cops are like, freeze. But yeah, no, it was really good. So I played that. And then I got the new UFC 5 game, which is a lot of fun, but it's basically just UFC 4. Like, it's a lot like UFC 4. Like, the campaign mode is like UFC 4 with, like, a couple more cutscenes mixed in. And, like...
Didn't they add Mike Tyson or something?
Yeah, but you gotta fucking pay for him. You know what I mean? But like, there's like not that many different characters. All the character models are very like similar. Like the game itself feels a lot like UFC 4, which all sound like horrible things. But UFC 4 was like one of my favorite games of all time, so I'm not like totally complaining. But there are like several differences. Like first of all, they changed the whole control scheme. Like,
that's a terrible idea.
Which is weird because it's like my muscle memory and like the way the game looks just like UFC 4, it's like I want to push the same buttons, and then it's like I don't, or I do, and it does like a totally different thing. And then but the one thing that they did add was like a really cool detailed cut system in the game, which changes the entire dynamic of the fucking like online fights and just the fights in general. Like in the old game, you could get like superficial cuts that didn't matter at all in the like grand scheme of the like gameplay. You know what I mean? In this game, if you cut somebody, like you can like punch that side of their face or elbow that side of their face and like try to open the cut more, and like the doctor will eventually stop the fight depending on where the cut is and how bad the cut is. And like there's swelling and stuff, and there's like fucking between rounds they'll like try to fix the cuts and like reduce the swelling and stuff. Like it's way more detailed and realistic.
You should have to play a mini game to try and like lower the swelling, depending on how good you do with the mini game.
They know that's a bad idea because they did that in fucking Fight Night round 3, and fucking like everybody hated it, dude. Fucking.
Or like the more you bleed, the more blood covers like some of your screen, so you can't see.
Oh, that would actually be really cool. But they do have something kind of like it. So like,
like an eyebrow cut.
First of all, the blood system is crazy looking. Like when you get a cut, like it starts bleeding really realistically. Like it'll like either like it looks just like a real fight. Like the way the blood comes out, like it comes out real fast sometimes, or sometimes it'll just like go out real slow depending on how big the cut is or how deep the cut is. And then like the way it like splatters on the fucking octagon, like you'll have like by the end of the fight, your blood will all stay on the mat. So like if it's a particularly bloody fight, there'll just be blood everywhere or like blood splattered in like specific spots. It's really cool, man. Like they did a really good job of like just fucking making it realistic on this one. So I will say, like, as just far as just straight up gameplay improvements, I would say like 9 out of 10. As far as just like making anything different about the game other than that, I would say like just pretty much exactly the same as UFC 4. Other than that, and like the character models do look a little better. You know what I mean? Like it's a little prettier, and the lighting is way better. Like you can tell that they did more shadows for everything and stuff, but like overall it's very similar to the fourth game. So but it's a lot of fun. So if you're a big fan of UFC, it's probably worth getting, but if you're not, then it's probably just you might as well just play 4.
I say it's available on Game Pass.
Is it really?
4's on
Oh, I thought you meant 5.
Yeah, I thought you meant 5. I was like,
what?
I just paid for
I was
that
like,
shit.
that should be big news if that's the case.
No. 4 is on Game Pass. So, I mean, if you're not a huge fan, just go play 4.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying for sure.
Yeah.
And then, so I played that, and then I've been playing Alan Wake 2. That's what I've been doing.
How's that?
It's really good. So, like, it's a little hard at some spots because there'll be like 30-minute like windows where you won't find like a save point, and you can't save normally. It's like it's like old school Resident Evil style saving, like where you have to find like safe rooms and then save in the safe rooms or whatever.
Yeah.
You know, which gets obnoxious at times because like sometimes you're just tired and you want to go to bed, and like you've been playing for like 20 minutes since you found a safe room, and you just like can't, you're like falling asleep trying to find a fucking.
But I mean, you got a PC, right? So you could just like minimize that shit.
Yeah, I guess I could, you
You
know.
just pause it, minimize.
I'm afraid my fucking computer will set on fire with Alan Wake running all night.
I don't think you're gonna be worried about playing Alan Wake if your computer catches on fire.
I'm just saying that shit is like it makes some crazy noises when you boot that bitch up. Like it is not playing around. Like that game is very, very demanding. Like,
Oh, yeah.
It's stupid. But it's also really pretty. Like the game itself is gorgeous. If you played Control or the original Alan Wake, you have to play this game because it like has references to like Control
Both of them.
all throughout it. You know what I mean? Like they're
Interesting.
set in the same universe or whatever, but they really leaned into it in this one. Like you'll find like, you know, people you know from the game Control just like walking around in the world where like if you hadn't played the game you wouldn't
never
even
know.
You wouldn't even know.
Yeah.
Yeah. It
When
would
you
just-
see him in this game, you're like, wow, man, your graphics are looking nicer. You really upgraded your textures, dude.
They did a crazy thing on this one where it's like fucking they'll have like FMV sequences like superimposed over the like real world gameplay, and the graphics are so good that like the real pictures like fucking like flashing over the fucking like game world looks just insane. Like it's fucking really cool how they have it. It's like the whole game is super trippy. It's like super scary at parts. There's like whole musical numbers in the game that are just random as fuck, and like fucking it's hard to even describe what it is as a game because it's like it's like part LA Noire, part Alan Wake 1, part Silent Hill, part fucking like it's like a little bit of everything, but it's awesome. Like it's fucking really, really cool, dude. Like I can't
Is
recommend
the
it
combat
enough.
any good?
The combat is fine. It's very Resident Evil 2-ish with like, you know, of course the signature Alan Wake shine the flashlight on him and then shoot him mechanic, you know what I mean? But yeah, like so far I've only got like 3 guns for each character, and I think I'm pretty early in the game. But like the game gives you the freedom to like, so about like 4 hours into the game, it's just like, okay, there's 2 main characters, Alan Wake and this like detective cop lady that you play as.
Yeah.
And as the detective cop lady, you're going from like crime scene to crime scene trying to solve a case in the real world, basically. And as Alan Wake, you're going through this like trippy nightmare hell world, and you're like fucking trying to, you know, get out of the trippy nightmare hell world.
Just
So-
stop writing the book.
That's the only way to get out is to keep writing the book. Otherwise, you're just trapped in this trippy nightmare
okay.
hell world. You got to write yourself out of the book. Fucking.
He stepped outside of the world. The end.
I just
No,
give
it's
myself
not that
a bunch
simple
of
because
weapons.
he's got an evil doppelganger who's like editing his stories as he writes them, and
Of
fucking like
course.
it's insane. Like,
How do you get out then? Like, does it? The guy's like, well, I'm not gonna ruin a good story. Like the doppelganger,
it's
so
like
he won't
it's like
erase.
a demon basically that like feeds on artwork or something like that. Like he like he gets in the mind of artists and like convinces them to like fucking like make art that like becomes reality. Like so like his wife is like a fucking poet or something, and he had her make some poems, and then he had this other guy make some other shit. Like if you have some kind of talent in art, he like fucking
He made Hitler write the Mein Kampf.
Hope the
I
demon
mean,
doesn't find any
honestly,
furry artists.
that would be a great example. If that was like a fucking
lore.
If that was in the lore, it would make sense. You know what I mean? Like it's that kind of same kind of world-ending like implications that like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's So is that how it ties into like Control? Because he's
because the
technically-
FBC is trying to like shut it all down.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They want to fucking come and like make sure that this doesn't become like a world-ending event. Like they want to contain it to Bright Falls. You know what I mean? Which if you go play the AWE expansion for Control, it's literally about that. Like it's about them having all of the like contaminated shit from Alan Wake 1 like locked in a room at the Federal Bureau of Control. And,
That's
like,
really cool.
It's really neat. Like
That's some world building lore shit. I like that.
It really is, and it makes Control as a game more interesting to me because now it's like I want to go back, or I'm expecting like Jesse Faden, the main character from Control, to like pop up at some point and like save the day in Alan Wake, which I would totally see happening. You know what I mean? But I'm still pretty early in Alan Wake, but it's absolutely bonkers in the best way possible. Like the whole thing is like a fever dream set in Twin Peaks. Like it's fucking really, really cool. Like
I've heard somebody say, it was on some podcast, I can't even remember, I listened to so many, but somebody compared it to like Control was like Twin Peaks and this one feels more like X-Files. Like
yeah, except for I would honestly say it's the opposite. Control is like X-Files and this one's like Twin Peaks.
Okay, gotcha.
Because, like, you know, Control is about, like, all the different, like, supernatural cases and, like, the government agency that's, like, assigned to, like, controlling them.
Yeah.
And then Alan Wake is just about this dude who's stuck in a fucking really crazy situation. You know what I mean? Which, like, in a small town like Twin Peaks. You know what I mean?
Isn't Control on Game Pass?
Yeah.
I think so. It's an awesome game. Like Control is really, really trippy, dude. Like, and this continues that spirit of just like weird, mind-numbing trippiness. You know what I mean? Like they don't pull any punches. It's not watered down. Like the narrative is very intelligent, and I really respect that in today's society because I feel like everything today is just like watered down for like dumber audiences. You know what I mean? Whereas like Control doesn't pull any punches with the like, and neither does Alan Wake 2, which I really respect. You know.
Yeah, it's not on there anymore. They took it off in February.
Okay, I was. It was.
You
Of
could probably
2022,
get
though.
Control for super cheap, though. You know, like I bet you could go to GameStop and buy it for like fucking $10 or something, or find it on sale somewhere online. You know.
Yeah, I definitely want to try that game before, like, just knowing all of that. But also, I'll probably just play it on Xbox because my PC's not gonna be able to handle Alan Wake, unfortunately.
I highly recommend playing the Alan Wake remake that just came out. Also, before you play the, you know.
Is it
Alan
good, the
Wake
remake?
2. Well, it's just the remake of Alan Wake 1. It's like the same exact game with like better graphics, but like it's Alan Wake 1 is a great game. You know, I played it recently, like not the remake. Like I just played the original base game, like, and it was fantastic. Like it held up in like 2019 or whenever I played it. You know what I mean? So I definitely recommend playing the remake that they just put out because it's probably gorgeous and it'll catch you up on the story of Alan Wake. I would at least play that, and if not that, and American Nightmare. American Nightmare is kind of a wacky offshoot game, but like according to the fucking people at Remedy, it's canon. So I don't know, you know.
I like it. I like canon stuff. Anything else?
No, that's all I've been playing.
Word, Devin.
Played a little bit of Rocket League.
Okay.
I'll always kind of come back to that game eventually.
The
That's me with that
master over
UFC
here.
game, you know.
Yeah, well, and Tate, my brother Tate is absolutely addicted to Rocket League. That's all he's been playing for like the last 5 months. So he's actually gotten pretty damn good now. So almost better than me. Actually, right now, no, he probably is better than me because I've been really rusty. But yeah, a little bit of Rocket League, a little bit of COD because I'm trying to finish out that Battle Pass, but I just don't have the fucking time.
Oh, yeah, I heard, and this isn't even like, I don't even know if it's true or not, but apparently, possibly, there's going to be a Master Chief skin pack coming next because they own
Oh, yeah.
Blizzard now,
That makes sense.
which would be tight.
I mean, they did all the Diablo shit. Like, they've got Inarius. They have an Inarius skin and a fucking, what's the demon chick?
Lilith.
Lilith, yeah.
Yeah.
I want a
they're-
battle rifle skin.
That's
for
what I was
the
about to say.
guns. That'd
Battle
be cool.
rifle, or like
Dude.
instead of your knife, you have a energy sword.
Oh, that'd be sick.
That'd be, yeah. They could make it a skin for the, what is it? They They do
gravity
just
hammer.
No, they do have just a sword, right?
Yeah, it's just the plasma sword. I don't know. How I
No,
said
no,
it.
I'm talking about in COD. Like they can make it a skin for.
Oh,
one of
the
melee
katana things or whatever.
Yeah.
I forget what they call them.
dual Kodachis.
Kodachis. Yeah.
It'd also be cool if when you got a bunch of kills, that guy came on, he's like, Slayer.
Yeah, it will. It will absolutely. And that was the other thing because there's a gun with like a cat on it, like a cat AI, and it just like talks to you the whole time, and it's like you're running out of ammo. Like it just talks to you the whole fucking game. Like
they added another one that's a demon dog.
Yeah.
I don't.
They're gonna do one with. I bet you it's gonna be Cortana.
Dude.
Like, can you imagine?
Oh, that'd be sick.
They'd be stupid not
She'd
to.
be like, Chief, we got fucking
Oh
whatever.
my god, that'd be badass.
It's gonna be
dude.
tight.
Pretty
That-
cool.
And what if like your assassination is like the gravity hammer? You just fucking slam it, and the body goes flying off.
Just ragdoll.
That would be so tight.
Can you wear your skins on the zombie thing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That would be cool. It's
I
like-
wonder if the operators are going to carry over to the next Call of Duty
They are.
Warzone. Oh, they are?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know about Warzone 3 whenever that comes out, but yeah, for Modern Warfare 3, we googled it earlier today, and like everything
Okay.
transfers over. So
Yeah.
to the
But yeah, just trying to finish out. I want to get the Spawn skin. I think the Spawn's operator skins are dope. And then I also played a little bit of Spider-Man. Just because I've been
Hey.
seeing all the fucking Spider-Man 2 shit on anytime I
So
open.
you've been playing the original Spider-Man?
Yeah.
Oh hell yeah,
Yeah.
it's good.
Yeah, because I had it, and like I got pretty far into it, and then my little bastard of a brother. This was a while back when Spider-Man first came out. I took like my PlayStation. He was still living at home, and I took my PlayStation to the house, and like he played on my fucking save and just
no.
finished it all the way through in like one fucking night. And I was
Damn, he didn't even start a new game.
like,
for
no,
himself?
the little fucker. And this is several
Just
years
cheating
ago.
himself out of the experience.
Fucking yeah, he just like started on my save and finished it all the way through, and I was like, well, I don't want to fucking go back through and like have to replay all the shit again, like, because I was like a good 30 or I was probably 40% into it,
Yeah.
and yeah, little bastard finished my save out, so that kind of like, I was just kind of like, and
Ruined
then never picked it back up. So now I'm starting a whole new playthrough again.
Oh hell yeah.
Just because I've been wanting to play some fucking Spider-Man, seeing all the Spider-Man 2 shit.
didn't they remaster it or something? The one on PC is remastered, right?
Yeah, but this is
Yeah.
on my PlayStation 4 Pro, and I'm playing it on a 4K TV, and it's making that PS4 Pro sound like a goddamn jet
I
engine, dude.
I bet. Is
Fucking,
it 60 frames per second on the Pro?
I don't know. It's pretty.
No, I doubt it.
It's pretty.
Not on 4K.
I know
don't-
that
yeah,
Insomniac does a good job with 30 frame per second games.
I mean,
Like,
it's a
to,
very smooth frame rate, whatever it
Yeah.
is, and it's locked in pretty well. But
their frame pacing
god
is
damn,
great,
is that
yeah.
PS4 gonna explode eventually?
Yeah, for sure.
I'm getting kind of nervous because it's like. And then like in different scenes, like especially when there's a bunch, like if you go into the cafeteria where there's all the people and everything doing different things, that's when it really fucking struggles.
Yeah.
It actually does a little better if you're just swinging through the city and stuff.
I gotta say, my PS5 is constantly impressing me, like with the fucking what it's capable of doing. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? Even this far along, and it's in the amount of time I've had it. Like Spider-Man 2 was still like wow. Like the fact that you can hold like this solid frame rate, like this whole game with all the shit you got turned, all the features and shit. The
Yeah.
fact that it's in 4K, even on the
Yeah.
60 frames per second mode, like that's impressive.
PS5 for sure can do it. I don't think a PS4 Pro could
Wow.
handle
I mean,
that.
Well, I
shit.
still got to give props to the PS4 Pro for being able to nail that level of graphics on a 4K TV. 'Cause
You got to give props to Insomniac too for like
Yeah.
just
Optimization.
optimizing
Yeah.
the shit out of that game, man.
yeah,
For
but,
sure.
But no, it's fun. I mean, it's fucking Spider-Man. Like,
Yeah, it's hard to go wrong with Spider-Man.
But
sure.
but yeah, I think that's all I've been playing.
Oi.
Boy,
Oi.
Well
Yeah.
then, let's get into it.
I
Just so
didn't-
you got. huh?
John,
What?
I was just go ahead. Do your little.
No,
spiel. It's about the news.
Okay, just so you guys know, we're using articles from gaming news sites from around the web, and we do not claim any of these articles as our own. We're simply bringing them all to your ears.
Did y'all get a lot of news this week?
not really.
Yeah.
Not anything too big. We do have to do the Xbox partner show or whatever.
Oh, I missed that.
I didn't even.
Let's
yeah.
go ahead and start with that.
Yeah, I
then.
didn't
Yeah,
even. See, I didn't
Yeah, it was called the Xbox Partner Preview of October 2023.
Okay,
there wasn't like
partner.
a okay partner.
Howdy,
Uh,
Bart.
Okay, so
Tell you what.
Microsoft has revealed a new show format called Xbox Partner Preview, and its first stream featured new looks at. I'm not gonna say it right there. It says, I'll just go to each one. So, Konami has finally shared a first look at gameplay from the remake of Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater, and it looks beautiful.
Oh, this is like the actual remake.
Yeah,
like
of 3.
Like the fucking Resident Evil 2 style remake. Like,
Yeah, what's it called? They're
doing the like collection that's like not like
not a
like
remake. It's
not
a
like
remaster.
Yeah, a remaster. Yeah.
Yeah, this is the beautiful remake of 3.
Sweet.
And it's developed on the Unreal Engine 5.
Oh, that's gonna be badass.
Looks party. We got a glimpse of it. And then alongside releasing the launch trailer for Alan Wake 2 ahead of its release date of October 27th, because this happened last week, Remedy shared with us a walkthrough featuring Saga Anderson. Is their name Saga? Saga Anderson facing off against a terrifying enemy that looks to be basically. They just looked at the game. And then Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth will continue the franchise's streak of including in-depth mini-games that aren't necessary to the story but are just as wonderful as the main content. In Infinite Wealth, players will be able to visit or ride a dolphin to Doko Island, which is a beautiful resort you need to help build up. Alongside building your dream home on the island, you can choose where shops and decorations go. You can interact to make friends with the local people and animals, and you can make great changes to the island to draw new tourists. So basically,
Animal Crossing.
That's
with
badass.
Yakuza, but like, and it's
Dude.
just a whole side thing in the game.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah.
In Like a Dragon, you can play like entire fucking Capcom games. Like they have like Ridge Racer and like fucking Virtua Fighter and shit like,
At the arcade.
like built into the game, and you can just play the entire game.
That's
Like
fucking hilarious.
it's kind of crazy. Like
Yeah, I love the Yakuza games. They're so weird.
they are weird. I love them.
Then Ark Survival Ascended, the Unreal Engine 5 remake of Ark Survival Evolved, gave fans their first look at the upgraded game, which is filled with dinosaurs, giant prehistoric creatures, and fantasy monsters. Ark Survival Ascended is so much more than just a remake of the first game, as it will also include cross-platform modding, cross-platform play and progression, and so much more. They didn't give a date or anything, but for like consoles, but I think it's already out on PC.
Is it gonna hit Game Pass?
I don't know. That they didn't say anything about that whenever I watched it.
Bitches.
But Manor Lords is coming to Game Pass, and I think it's already here, but it's an upcoming.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's like the second most wishlisted item on Steam.
Yeah, basically.
What is it?
It's an upcoming historical city building game that will be released in game preview for Windows and PC Game Pass on April 26th. That's what it is. So
Okay.
it's a medieval city building, but you also have to fucking defend your fucking like.
So it's like a tower defense thing too.
No, I think
City
it'll be more like
defense.
what is like
real-time strategy.
yeah, it'd be like a real-time strategy where you control your armies and shit and send out your fucking people to go fight and defend the city.
Oh, that sounds pretty cool.
Yeah. I mean, for some reason, a fuck ton of people have wishlisted it on Steam to make it like the second most wishlisted game.
There must be something to it.
Yeah, I think it might be in the combat. Like maybe, dude, if you could go and like join in the combat and fight like next to your people, that'd
Yeah.
be fucking sick.
It's also a very PC game. Like when I say PC, like computer, I don't mean like politically correct. But it's like one of those games where like it's like StarCraft and like stuff like that, where like I would never care for it, but there's like an entire group
Following.
of people on the internet on PC gaming that's just like, this is perfect.
I'm definitely gonna check it out. I mean, it's coming to Game Pass, so fuck it.
Yeah, check it out.
And I'm a big fucking medieval nerd, so it's like right up my alley.
Yeah.
I was thinking about trying City Skylines too, but then I was
it's
like,
been getting dunked on, dude.
oh really?
The
Really?
performance apparently is just fucking trash. Like
Oh shit.
it's like it got review bombed the fuck, like on Steam, on fucking
Wow.
everything it's on.
It just looked way too complex, and I was just like, no.
And then like the developer came out and said like performance isn't everything or something. It's like, what? That's how you play the game.
Kind of is
That's how
though.
you-
Yeah.
That's how you
It's
enjoy.
literally-
A pretty big chunk of it at least. Yeah.
Anyways, RoboCop got a new trailer at the Xbox Partner Preview, and it gave a tease at the game's story and the characters involved in it. Also got another glimpse at the gameplay, some of the weapons RoboCop will be able to use, and even a mech you'll have to face off against. And then Still Wakes the Deep is a new narrative horror game from Dear Esther developer The Chinese Room, and it looks to take players to a mysterious oil rig off the coast of Scotland in 1975. The footage shown at the Xbox Partner Preview was a look at the game in action and gives a tease at the horrors to come.
Sounds spooky. Oil rigs are spooky.
They are spooky. Imagine if you're the only one on an oil rig, though.
I think that's going to be the
Dude,
case.
even if you're like everybody else is there on an oil rig, it's probably terrifying. Just the fact that you're out in the middle of an ocean, like miles offshore, with like nothing around to save you on this fucking piece of fucking metal strapped to the fucking,
I mean, usually there's life rafts and stuff.
Yeah, but sharks.
Yeah, but I mean, come on, dude. That's terrifying, bro. You gonna ride that life raft several miles? Like, that's just horrifying.
Go fucking try. By God.
No, I mean, definitely gonna try,
yeah, I'm gonna
but
try.
it's not gonna be fun.
I'm going to be
No.
screaming the whole time anything, like, it feels like it bumps the little raft that you're in.
Oh,
the
no.
middle.
These are like shore enough boats.
When I was
okay.
Yeah.
when I was a line handler, we got called out to Corpus Christi, and we were gonna go move an oil rig. Like there was like tons of people fucking moving this oil rig. Like National Geographic was like filming it and shit. It was crazy.
The fuck?
Fucking, but like we had they had unhitched the oil rig and they were like pulling it through the ocean. Like
How's that even? Wait,
Well,
so what
because
is it hooked to?
I don't know. I don't know how
Well,
it's.
and there's a bunch of different types of rigs too. Like, so there's whole rigs that are floating and like just free floating.
Yeah, that's I think what this was. It was like floating, but like somehow they were pulling it. Like we had attached it to tugboats and shit, and like we were going around like attaching ropes from tugboats to like the actual oil rig itself.
Yeah.
But like
That's cool as fuck.
The point of this story is like a guy fell off the oil rig while we were doing this. And like hit the fucking bottom of the oil rig from the top of the oil rig, and
fuck.
like knocked his fucking eye out and stuff. They had to lifeline him, and we were
He
like,
didn't die?
no, he didn't die. As a matter of fact, I think he got a pretty good like compensation from all of this. You know what I mean? Like,
He fell in there?
yeah.
Or was it like something failed and he fell?
I think like we were
They're
pulling
moving
the
it and he just
yeah,
tripped.
I think he just lost his balance and was standing too
Sure.
close to the edge or something, and fucking he fell like fucking really far, like
How
20,
far?
20 meters, 25 meters. It was.
You gotta speak American. How many feet is meters?
I don't fucking know, man.
How many? Isn't it 3
was
feet?
it
a
was
meter?
a,
To a meter.
So 3 times 20.
No, wait, 3 feet to a yard.
Fuck. What's a
God
meter?
damn it.
Hold on.
Look,
How
I'm
many
only
feet would you
speaking
think?
American.
I don't know. It was like
If you had to guess.
It was high enough to break his whole face. Like I mean,
that's not that
But you
high.
don't have to be that high to break your whole face.
And he hit metal, but I mean, it was. I would say like, oh gosh, I don't know, 50 feet. I don't know.
Okay, 50.
Like it was
That's
like
pretty
It
high.
was like falling off a house or something. Like you know what I mean? Like a big house.
So, weren't you the one that had to ride on the boat with him
Yeah,
back?
we had to go pick him up
Okay,
and
a
like,
meter's
take
also
him to
3.2
shore.
feet.
Horrifying.
So what did it? Okay, this is probably I don't want to bring up your PTSD, but what did the face look like after that? Like,
Well, he was like.
Not good.
He was like bulging, like his whole eye was like bulging out, and he's freaking out. You know, he's like trying to like touch it and stuff. We're like don't touch your face, bro. You know, like fucking.
Yeah, 'cause it probably shattered his whole
was he
orbital-
coherent? Like, could
yeah.
he talk?
Oh yeah,
Like,
he was screaming and fucking freaking out, and like he was.
they save his eye?
Adrenaline was going. I don't think so.
he's like, there was
I'm
nothing
not
there.
100% sure, but it didn't look like. I mean,
Probably not.
if they did, I don't know, man.
I'd be more worried about like brain damage. Like,
I think they told us later, like, because I'll never forget, we went to go get Whataburger later that day, and like our boss comes in and he's like, "Yeah, that guy you guys took to shore, he's gonna be okay. Apparently, blah blah blah. He's gonna get a big financial compensation and blah blah blah." I'm like, "All right, cool. I guess he's gonna be fine."
He's
you
gonna be
know?
all right,
So I
boys.
just kind of put it out of my mind after that. I was like,
Yeah,
His
dude.
face broke the fall.
But yeah, I can only imagine like being in a horror environment where you're like running away from a monster, and then like
Yeah.
next second you're just slipping off the side of a fucking oil rig.
Yeah.
Like you either
Well, they
hit the
showed-
metal or you fall in the ocean. Both are almost equally terrifying. You know what I mean? Like
They showed a teaser of this game. They showed it here, but also like before at I don't know. It was like an Xbox showcase. I thought we saw like a little piece of it. The oil rig looks super like dingy and
Yeah,
and
it's a
dark and shit.
first-person game.
Yeah.
I could see it being really scary.
I'm
Yeah.
Just
hyped.
like, oh man.
Or what if they like jolt a portal to hell, and that's like the premise?
Oh, that would be so good.
That's what Doom
dude.
Zero is. I'm just kidding. Like, that's
Honestly, that would be so sick.
it
bro.
actually
I
ties
like that
into
idea.
Doom. That's where it came from. It was
Dude,
just
Make it, but no guns. Like have it. I want this to just be straight up like Outlast horror. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Where
Oh,
you're just
dude.
trying to get to the lifeboat. Like that's your only goal. But
That's
kind
kinda
of
what
so
it
much
looks like.
terrifying shit in the way. Yeah.
Anyways, then there's Dungeons of Hinterberg, which is set to be released in 2024. We got a deep dive trailer that featured a look at the game's combat and its social side. This new game stars a character named Louisa, and the trailer shows how she will balance combat and relationships and more when Dungeons of Hinterberg is released in 2024. That told us nothing about it. But Spirit of the North 2 is the sequel to the 2019 original, and we'll see a fox and a raven teaming up to restore lost guardians and do all they can to find their way home. Their journey will bring them face to face with the dark shaman Grimnir, and they will have to work together if they hope to survive this dangerous yet beautiful world. And then the finals, which look dope, is free to
yeah.
play.
Open beta, but apparently it hit capacity.
Yeah, it looks like it's going to be a good game. It's a free-to-play, team-based competitive shooter that is set to get an open beta on Xbox, which it already dropped, yeah. What sets the finals apart from other games of this type is that it is set in a combat-centered game show in a virtual world that you can alter, exploit, and even destroy.
Yeah. No, it's fun as fuck. I played it. It's also, if you got some potatoes for teammates, it is
You're not gonna win.
extremely frustrating. It is very, very like heavily team based or squad based, I guess, because it's like 3v3v3.
It kind of looks like what's the Splinter? No, what the fuck? Rainbow Six, but like with combat, like Call of Duty combat.
It's a
No,
little
this
more
is like-
wacky than Rainbow Six.
Yeah, no, this is over the top. Like people, you can like throw down launch pads, you can blow up walls. You have like the heavy class can run through walls.
You remember that game
Yeah, a bunch of
Mercenaries
destruction.
from back in the day?
Yeah,
Imagine the destruction from that, but like in a 3v3v3
that's what I was saying. Like
format. It's just wacky, like rocket launchers
breaking
and,
through
like,
everything.
blowing
Yeah,
up
it's like
shit
over
and,
the
like,
top.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's
money flying.
it's honestly
out whenever
really
you kill
it's really
people.
fun. I think it's gonna be. I think it'll be pretty successful.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Though I know,
Especially
it'll-
once it hits the new consoles, I think it's gonna blow up on Series X and PS5 if they ever put it on there. You know what I mean?
But yeah, apparently though the open beta launched a couple days ago and it hit capacity. Like their
I
servers
believe it.
are
I had
full.
trouble getting on it when I was on the fucking closed beta back in the day.
Yeah.
But I also had a lot of technical issues with the game.
Those motherfuckers sent me my closed beta access like 4 days before it was over.
I
had to
think
play a
they
good
sent
bit,
it to
but-
me so early because they thought I was going to try it on the Steam Deck. And
Yeah,
like,
I
you know
remember
what
us
I mean?
talking. Yeah, I remember us talking about that. But
yeah,
yeah, good game. Keep your eye out for it. I think it's gonna. I think it'll. I don't know. It's 50-50. It's either gonna do really good or it's just gonna fall on the wayside.
Yeah. I think it's going to be like a split gate type
it's-
game where
it's
it's a
free to
great
play.
game that just doesn't.
they're not going to
have
get
it.
enough
I don't
people.
think it's going to get enough people.
Yeah, there's too many. They're like jumping into a full
Saturated
tank.
market. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
one thing that will keep this game alive though is like there's super customization with like all the articles, like different like you can from head to toe, you have like different articles of like clothing and costume and stuff like that. So like with a free to play game like that, that's gonna drive people to play and get sales and stuff because you can unlock it and then you can also buy stuff too.
Maybe they'll get a couple of like cash cow people that just like, what do they call them, whales or whatever, that just spend thousands of dollars to keep
Yeah.
them open, but they have like a good like 1,000 of those and then they don't have to worry. But last thing that they showed off was Icaro Will Not Die. It's a new game from Future Lab and Thunderful and features fast-paced gameplay with roguelite elements. The gameplay itself is set in a futuristic neon facility, and the announcement trailer gives fans a glimpse at the fun that lies ahead. Okay, that was it. That was all we got from it was the partner previews. So,
Okay, partner.
yeah, partners. Anyways, so what you
Alright.
guys got?
So Diablo 4 expansion info seemingly uncovered by data miners may be named Lord of Hatred. So thanks to the expert sleuthing of data miners, we now have some pretty compelling evidence that suggests Diablo 4's first expansion will be called Lord of Hatred and will focus on everyone's favorite Soulstone occupant, Mephisto.
Okay.
So it shouldn't be terribly surprising that a live service game supported by 3 separate development teams will likely be getting some major expansions, especially given how the base campaign story is set up for future conflict with the prime evils of hell. The timing of the discovery is especially relevant since studio head Rod Ferguson recently confirmed that the annual expansions could be in the stars for the ARPG.
Nice.
So yeah.
Okay. That's pretty cool, I guess.
Yeah, I think somebody's playing that. No, I'm just kidding.
I don't know. I mean,
No, I think a lot of people
I never
are
got
pissed
Diablo
at
4.
Diablo right now.
Yeah, when they put it on Game Pass, I'll definitely hop on there. But
Yep,
you know,
until
till
then.
then. Let's see. The highly regarded 2022 horror movie Barbarian is getting a video game adaptation.
How?
It's probably going to be one of those asymmetric horror games, especially
Okay.
because Diversion 3 Entertainment, which worked on Friday the 13th game and Evil Dead the game, is developing the Barbarian game alongside New Regency Pictures. So I'm thinking it's probably going to be asymmetric horror. I mean, it makes sense if you want to use the big monster and a bunch of other people are running through the house trying to get away.
We don't have enough of those yet.
I know. I'm sure they'll have some sort of like movie tie-in if they make like
What
a
was this?
second Barbarian, which I'm sure they
It's
will.
the one with what's his face?
No,
Justin Long.
Yeah, it's got Justin.
What
Long in
movie?
it.
What-
Barbarian.
Barbarian.
oh, I never saw it.
It's a horror film with Justin Long.
Nothing good ever happens to Justin Long in
No.
movies.
No.
Like
No.
Actually, the opposite. Like the worst shit always happens.
It's
to
true.
Remember when his belly button was a part of like the
freaking
ninja star
Yeah.
that Jeepers Creepers used?
Yeah. Or like Walrus. Y'all ever
Oh
heard
yeah,
about
that was about Tusk.
Tusk,
You mean?
yeah.
Tusk? Yeah, I never saw it, but I've seen pictures.
Yeah. That was a dumbass movie.
Was it really?
dumb.
Yeah.
It was kind of like satire, making fun of like human centipede.
Centipede,
You
yeah.
know, but at the same time, it was also like
The human centipede.
it was also just the human centipede.
Like, yeah, but ours is like self-aware. Which I'm pretty sure the human centipede was self-aware
Yeah,
too. Like,
definitely.
so it's like, I don't know. Anyways, Destiny 2 developer Bungie has reportedly been affected by layoffs, becoming the latest in a long line of video game studios to undergo downsizing in 2023. Bloomberg's Jason Schreier said on Twitter that staff at the PlayStation Studios developer were informed of the layoffs on today, October 30th. Today's not the 30th, is it?
It is.
It is the 30th. I knew that. Quit lying, Devin. I'm just kidding. It is the 30th.
Yes, it's the
What the fuck? I'm like 2
What day
days
did you
behind.
thi-
I thought it was like the 28th or something. I don't know what's going on. Anyways, the number of people affected by the downsizing is unclear, though Bungie CEO Pete Parsons reportedly emailed staff repeatedly. Get out, you guys are gonna. No, reportedly emailed staff this morning to notify them of a meeting where they would be told more. So basically, that's what's happening. That's what's going down over at Bungie, and which is weird because you would assume they're about to start working on like, Destiny 3 here pretty soon, right? Or something.
I'm so disconnected from Destiny now. I've no
Yeah,
idea.
I mean, I feel like Destiny 2's been out longer than Destiny 1 was out. Before Destiny 2 came out. You know what I'm saying? Like it's been a while, right?
That might be true.
I don't know. It
How-
does feel like Destiny 2 has been out for a long time now.
A long ass time.
Too goddamn long.
Yeah, but
Well, Destiny 1 was supposed to be a 10-year experience, so
oh goodness,
fucking
yeah.
fuck you, Bungie.
Can you
Oh.
imagine? No, but
I would have preferred that instead of them just wiping fucking everything. Like a lot of people.
graphics would be so like it
You
just
can
be
still give it
unplayable.
graphical updates though. That's the thing.
That's true. I guess
They were-
Fortnite's been doing it.
They
They've
were
already
talking.
done updates to 2's graphics, you know?
Yeah. Well, they were talking about like they were gonna carry it through. You're gonna have all your shit, and then it was just like, oh hey, by the way, you gotta
We
make new
lied.
characters. And then people grinded all the fucking grinded the shit for days on end, and then it just was nothing.
Dang it.
Yeah. Fuck. I'm still bitter about that. But if you couldn't tell.
Brent or Devin?
No, it's
Okay.
me. So Epic Games has revealed that Fortnite's next major update will see the perennially popular Battle Royale return to its Chapter 1 roots while retaining its popular sprinting and mantling gameplay mechanics. So earlier today, Epic posted an image of the classic Fortnite battle bus to Twitter alongside the words "Sprint or Mantle, your choice." Back to Chapter 1. So they're just going to go back to the OG map and everything.
Well, that's fun.
And I think they're taking away all the crazy fucking, omnidirectional gear and shit like that. Jedis and what the hell? There's so much shit in it now.
Well, they always like cycle it out, They'll have like the fucking jetpack and shit, and then they'll switch it to the ninja sword that makes you fly, and they're always switching it out. So I'm glad they're getting rid of that for a little bit, but I'm sure it'll come back. It'll all come back. They're just gonna start at Fortnite round like season 1, and then just build their way up again.
Yep. Yeah,
All
with
right.
all the new engine and everything.
So this is kind of an old article here, but it says Alan Wake 2 releases later this week. Alan Wake 2 is already out. Continuing the story of the original 2010 psychological thriller. For those who can't get enough of the spooky cult classic, there's more good news. Alan Wake 2 will be getting a New Game Plus mode post-launch, complete with an alternate storyline. The planned mode was announced by official Alan Wake 2 account on Twitter, with Remedy Games adding that the release timing for the update is still yet to be confirmed. It did share some details on what we can expect from New Game Plus and Alan Wake 2, however. Like in other games, New Game Plus will allow players to keep their unlocked weapons and upgraded from the start of the playthrough. There will also be a Nightmare difficulty mode, and an alternate narrative is on the way, complete with new manuscript pages and video content. So that's pretty cool. If you want to play back through with a little twist.
Love a twist.
What a twist.
Okay. Well, let's see here. This one, it's all speculation, but Capcom is getting ready to launch a big game despite not having announced it yet, as the Resident Evil, Devil May Cry, and Street Fighter maker has an quote-unquote unannounced major title launching by March 2024. As reported by VG247, Capcom said during the questions and answers section of its recent financial results presentation that this unannounced title will allow it to reach its sales goal for the year. Quote, in the second half of this financial year, we plan to release Apollo Justice Ace Attorney Trilogy in January, in addition to a currently unannounced major title, end quote. Capcom said, translated by Reddit user, blah, blah, blah. Moreover, we plan to boost the sales figures of new titles of the first half of this financial year, like Street Fighter 6, to achieve the target. It's currently unclear what this unannounced major title is, of course, but Capcom certainly has plenty of franchises to pull from. IP includes Street Fighter, Resident Evil, Devil May Cry, Dead Rising, Monster Hunter, and one of my personal, I want to see this, Mega Man. What if they did like a crazy reboot, but they're not going to. But
It'd be cool. I mean, let's think about this rationally for a second, though.
it's probably Resident Evil.
Resident Evil just got Resident Evil 4 this year. It's unrealistic to expect another Resident Evil game at March of next year.
It is.
You know what I mean? Otherwise, I think they would probably have been hyping that up a little if that was the case. You know what I mean? And then, what was the other one that we got this year? Fucking Street Fighter, you said? Yeah, we just got a Street Fighter.
Yeah, we got Street
so
Fighter.
It's definitely not a Street Fighter.
No.
So it could be Devil May Cry.
Could be Devil May Cry.
Dead
but
Rising.
Devil May Cry 5 is pretty... It's not new, but I don't expect a Devil May Cry 6, especially one that's going to launch in March. Dead Rising is a dead franchise, and I only say that because I think one of the developers has said that they've put it on ice for a while.
Yeah, definitely.
You know what I mean? So I'd be very, very surprised if it's Dead Rising. Although that would be my number one thing that I would be the most excited about out of all of them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That would be my Mega Man right there. You know what I mean?
See, that's the thing though. It's obviously not going to be Mega Man because I feel like they would have already put some hype behind it to start to build the hype and get people excited about Mega Man returning.
But which one of these would even fit the criteria of dropping without the hype train, you know? I think it'd be something you'd want to surprise people with.
Yeah.
I mean, you could definitely surprise with Mega Man.
You could if it was like a reboot and not just a Mega Man collection or whatever. If they came out and they were just we're doing
Brand new
Mega Man Legends reboot, but it's it looks like fucking Dead Space level graphics, I don't know.
I'm actually, the more I think about it, the more I think it might be a Resident Evil because it's
probably
like,
gonna be Resident Evil.
think about this. They're still trying to bolster sales for Resident Evil 4, so announcing any other new Resident Evil title might detract from that right now, which is the only reason why you wouldn't, as a game studio, be trying to build hype for something that's going to come out in March, unless you were going to do like a surprise drop type thing.
It could.
You know?
I mean, I think it's gonna be Resident Evil. It's gonna be Resident Evil something. Like, it doesn't necessarily have to be the next like big remake, but it's gonna be something.
Could be. Like, the way they treated 3 Remake versus the way they treated 2 Remake could be the way they're going to treat 5 Remake versus the way they treated 4 Remake. You know what I'm saying?
You think they're actually gonna do a 5 remake?
I think if they do, they're not going to give it the same amount of, like, attention they did 4. Like, I think it'll be like 3, where it's a shorter experience that, like, tells the story from 5. You know what I mean?
Trying to catch everything up to
Yeah.
6 or to 7,
Yeah.
basically.
6 is the only one that would be like almost impossible to remake because you have like 4 completely different storylines in 6 that you'd have to like flesh out or like combine into one somehow, which would be very difficult.
I honestly think they're stopping with 4. I don't think they're gonna remake any further. Like, I think it's just gonna go to new installments in like VR games.
I think they're
and
definitely
stuff
going to
like
remake more of them, and I don't think 5 is going to be the next
Well,
one. I think they're going to
it'd be
remake
0.
No, they're going to remake Resident Evil 1 in Resident Evil 2 fashion.
That's okay.
That's
yeah,
what's going to happen.
they would have to do
next.
1.
And then I think
Code Veronica.
Yeah.
Right.
Code Veronica and 0, but I think honestly, I think it's going to be 1, 5, 0. Nah, 1, 5, 6, 0 Code Veronica. But I do think they're going to remake them all. I do. I fucking think they're going to do it.
I don't. I don't. I believe you, but I don't believe they'll do it. Like, I could see where it would be smart to do it, but I have a feeling that they probably have a bad taste in their mouth from 5 and 6, to where if they do remake it, they're gonna completely change what it is. Like, it's not gonna be.
I think they're going to make it scarier, but I don't think they're going to change the story.
Because
Like,
there's no way they're gonna make it with couch co-op. Like, fucking.
You have to make it with couch co-op.
Not gonna do
it's
it.
an essential part of the game. You know what I mean?
I know, that's what I'm saying. You think they're really gonna go through and remake this game and like make it couch
If you
co-op?
don't make it couch co-op, you at least have to keep the character in the game as your like partner through the game.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like you have to make it an NPC that's like competent and like keep that element of gameplay in there. You know what I mean? Like,
Did they have the NPC in the original one? Like, if you weren't playing couch co-op?
yeah, you can play single player in 5 if you wanted to.
Yeah, but like, did you have like the computer character following you
Yeah,
around?
absolutely.
Okay, yeah, I
there are
couldn't
like whole
remember.
segments of the game where you have to like, where you like either the one running and like one of you's like protecting the other with a sniper or something, and like those whole chunks of the game are still like in the game. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I definitely remember that. So, because yeah, we played through all of 5 together.
Yeah.
But I just can't see him doing it, dude.
But 6 is like that too. Like 6 is built around having co-op gameplay, so most of the narrative in 6 is like, you know, has 2 characters involved in it. You know what I mean? Like,
But also notice up to 4 though, the characters actually carry over into 7 and 8. Like, once you get to 5 and 6, it's like completely different people.
that's not true.
It's not.
No.
Because who's
Chris is the main character of 5, and fucking in
is
6
Chris.
you got fucking Leon and fucking Jill and Claire. Like I'm pretty sure like everybody is in 6, and fucking like.
Okay. All right. Now that makes sense, because I barely remember the story of 5. For some reason, I thought it was a different, just like completely different character. But yeah, Chris is the main character. Maybe they will remake
They
it.
do have a new character in 5, like the one side chick who's like one of the main characters.
Side chick.
Well, she doesn't appear in any of the other
Yeah.
games. She just like
That's what I'm
pops
saying.
in for 5, and she's like, "Yeah."
I knew there was new characters, but like, yeah, interesting. We'll see. We'll remember this day, and I'm sure you'll be right.
We shall remember.
I think as long as they're making money off the remakes, they'll keep making them, no matter.
Yeah.
You know, they'll find a way to make
I thi-
5 tight. You
I
know
think
what
they're
mean?
trying. Though, if they do make 5, I think they're gonna wait as long as possible to make 5. They're gonna do 0. They're gonna do 1, 0, Code Veronica. They're gonna do everything in their power to like hold off until they can think of something good to do with it. And probably the same with 6, like, or they'll put 5 and 6 together and like as a
I
big
think
story.
the smart thing would be to just go ahead and do 5, but just change it totally. You know, make the whole atmosphere of the game different. Make the game darker. Make it make the like the people more scary. Make the change the level design. Fundamental.
Also, I think 5 got them. They got in a lot of trouble because of the setting. I remember even back then, it was like a PC thing, like where because you're like in all the zombies are like, let's just be forward. All the zombies are black people. Like in
but it's set in like Africa.
I know, but they got in a lot of trouble for that. Like people freaked out.
Far Cry 2 was set in fucking like Africa, and nobody freaked out about that.
Well, they're not all zombies. Like I don't know what makes people upset. All right, I don't understand, but it happened. Like you can go read news articles about it from when it happened, like when it came out, and they're just like, "This is fucked up."
I also think that people aren't like as down on video games in general these days. Like people at that era of like life were kind of just trying to blame video games for everything. They're
That's
like,
true.
"Oh, kids are killing their schools because of they're playing video games." It's like nowadays people kind of just look at it like more of just another form of media. You know what I mean?
Now everybody knows it's the internet.
We're not all just blaming video games for gun violence and stuff. I mean, we are a little bit, but like not any more than anything else. You know what I mean?
Just Googling it was in trouble for allegations of racism. Resident Evil 5's 2007 original trailer was criticized for depicting a white protagonist killing black enemies in a small African village.
I mean, except for like one of the two protagonists isn't white.
That's correct.
I mean? But,
yes,
like whatever,
but maybe they added the chick after the trailer. Like
it seems like a lot of work for like if you just retroactively go add an entirely different person into the game, like and build the whole game around it. You know what I mean? Like
yeah, but that's just
from the time that trailer dropped to the time the game came out. See.
And so this is like from one of the gaming like articles back in the day. Girl said, "Wow, clearly no one black worked on this game. It's like when you engage that kind of imagery, you have to be careful with it. If you put up that
that's
imagery,
just offensive right there.
That's what I'm saying.
There's probably a ton of black developers that worked on the game. They're like, hey, what the fuck?
The argument from some was that the
whole creative team is just black. No,
But yeah, so apparently Capcom was shocked by the criticism, and it effectively blindsided, or they were blindsided by it, is what they say on this article here. It said the nature of the game's controversy became a tennis match, as some journalists argued the case of the game's theme being too much, whereas the other figures, such as Professor Glenn Bauman, director of research at School of Anthropology and Conservation, who's this guy? He just came in and he was like, the University of Kent found the labels and accusations to be silly, which I agree with this guy, because it's like, it's the setting, man. Like if you go to like, say you go to the fucking a Norwegian place, like it's gonna be all white people. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't know. It just maybe they were
to like whitewash the countries you go to.
If they're all white,
that's
like, still gonna be racist because it's not inclusive enough.
But I don't know what to do, man. I don't know what to do. But and I'm sure Capcom doesn't know what to do, or maybe they're gonna switch it up or something. But they basically have this like really bad taste in their mouth from 5. So like I want to see how they handle it. Like what are they going to do? And then they're going to have to change something, like just so they don't get attacked in the media.
I don't think they're going to have to change anything like about the actual
just
game
make it
itself.
South.
Like
if they make it South Africa,
that's silly and
it's just a bunch of Elon Musks running it.
You don't need to change. It might already be South Africa. I don't know. You know what I mean? Honestly, I don't think like I feel like every game is gonna have some sort of silly fucking thing like that where somebody's going off about something. You
For
know
sure,
what I mean?
for sure.
Like I don't think they need to.
I just remember
anything.
it was one of the earliest things where I was like, "What?" Like it was like one of the earliest like times I had ever seen like the culture like attack something. Like I just remember it was like on it's like whenever what's that terrible website Kotaku the other it's like it's like the first time I had ever seen anything like that where I'm like, wait, people really fucking care? Like everything before that was like Republican right-wing people being like, these games are killing our children.
Yeah.
And this was the first time I saw somebody that wasn't a Republican getting mad about a video game. I was like, what is this about, man? But anyways, go off, King.
So this is actually a really short one, but Ever since Insomniac first announced that it was working on a Wolverine game for PlayStation, fans have wondered whether it was set in the same universe as Spider-Man 2. There's been plenty of speculation that they're all together, not the least because the original teaser contains a 1048 nod, but otherwise, there's been no official word one way or another. In an interview with Kinda Funny, though, Spider-Man 2 director Brian Intihar confirmed that the two games do in fact exist in the same world.
Wait, what are the two games again?
Wolverine
and Spider-Man.
Why would they?
Okay, my problem with that, why they would not, is because X-Men has a fundamentally different world than most of the other Marvel stuff. You know what I mean?
Not in this universe. They're just kidding.
I'm just saying it doesn't work that way. You know,
Yeah.
like to have X-Men implies a world where like people are like disgusted and offended by mutants, where mutancy is like, I don't even know if that's a word, but just being a mutant is like fucking, you know, punishable by like, you know, persecution, you know what I mean? People are like, you know, not tolerating
Yeah, they don't like
mutants, you know?
Spider-Man because
That's what
he's
I'm
a
saying.
mutant.
But no, in Spider-Man, everybody's like high-fiving him as he walks down the street and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, fucking, I just feel like the world.
You mess with them, you mess with us.
Right? I'm just saying, like, the world of Spider-Man and the world of, like, X-Men on a fundamental level just don't exist together. You know what I mean?
But
like,
I mean, they have plenty of times before.
in what worlds? You know?
And like the old cartoons of like the X-Men, like Spider-Man showing up in the X-Men cartoons.
See, I don't remember that. You know, like I've watched a lot of the old X-Men cartoons, but I just don't.
Right?
Remember
Am I
that
just fucking making that up?
No, I don't know. You probably are right.
But
you
then
know?
in-
they
and then
probably
a
had
lot
some
of the-
sort of crossover or
And
something.
then
you
there's
know?
a lot of comic book instances where, you know, the mutants are in, you know, just regular Marvel universes.
See, I just don't like. I don't know about all the crossovers. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I guess I missed all those. You know what I mean? Like, and I'm sure you're right. There's so many different things that have happened in so many different worlds. You know what I mean? There's like the zombie world where it's like all the X-Men are there somehow. I don't know. But at the same time, like, just the whole point of X-Men is, like, fucking, you know, the whole point of, like, Xavier's School for the Gifted is to have, like, a fucking safe place for these mutants who would be celebrated in Spider-Man's world, is my point. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I'm sure there's been crossovers in the past, but they probably didn't make any fucking
Well,
sense.
and we technically had mutants
You know what I
in Avengers too.
Like, do we have, like, X-Men mutants in Avengers?
I mean,
the recent Avengers?
No,
No,
they
there's
weren't
no
X-Men,
X-Men.
but they were mutants.
No, but that's what he's saying. In the X-Men universe, there wouldn't be mutants outside of, you know, their
There wouldn't be
school.
like celebrated superheroes and shit if we were in the X-Men world. You know what I'm saying?
because
Because people are afraid of mutants. That's like a big central
Yeah.
plot point in X-Men.
Well,
You know
they're
what I mean?
technically Jews, basically. It's all based off of that, literally. Like the whole thing is like they're the Jews, and then the people are like the Nazis. You know, to the mutants. It's all based off of that stuff. It's like old ass shit, like written by Jewish people, like the comics. But yeah, so that makes sense. I didn't even think about that. And now that I think about it, yeah, there is no Spider-Man X-Men crossovers that I'm aware of. But then
There's
again,
gotta be
there's like
some,
Marvel
you
Nemesis
know?
and stuff like that.
Well, no, there's a bunch
Yeah,
of
but I
like,
mean, like that.
Secret Wars. I'm pretty sure.
I feel like there's a lot of stuff like that, but most of the time it'll be like a video game where they don't give any like real context or thought to it. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know.
You take that back about Marvel
Yeah,
Nemesis.
Dude, Marvel Secret Wars, like the first iteration of Secret Wars back in the 80s, had all X-Men and Avengers and everybody.
Interesting.
Yeah, I mean that
How do
in
they
the comics.
explain it in the comic?
They probably don't.
Well, I mean,
They're probably
They're
just
just like, here are the X-Men. Doesn't make any sense, but here you go.
I feel like back in the day they didn't care as much about fucking lore. Like, you know, like now everybody's like into details and shit.
I think the thing is, it's like with Marvel universes, there's so many different like storylines that conflict with each other that it doesn't really matter. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But in my world, I would never write that into an existence. Because it just wouldn't. It just wouldn't work with each other.
And I guarantee you, there's an episode of the '90s like X-Men animated series where Spider-Man shows up. I bet you anything. There's at least one episode probably where.
Yeah. I mean, knowing Insomniac, they could totally do a Wolverine game that doesn't involve X-Men at all. You know, you could just have Logan as a character. Fucking.
He just lives there.
Yeah, I
He
mean,
got bit by like a radioactive
or you could make
Wolverine.
You could make X-Men's, Xavier's school like a totally different thing in this world. You know what I mean? Like it could be like a fucking like rehab facility or some shit. You know what
Like
I mean?
a prestigious school for the gifted.
I don't know. Maybe not.
Like
that,
people
'cause that's
actually
kinda
are like.
already what it is. Oh yeah, maybe it is. Maybe it's like looked at well, and it's on the news. Everybody's like, "Oh yeah, he graduated from Xavier's." You know what I mean? Like,
he's a really good mutant.
yeah.
Good job.
Yeah, there's multiple instances of the Avengers and the X-Men working together throughout the comics.
So weird. I mean, because aren't they in the same?
I'm just saying it doesn't make any sense to me, and I haven't ever
I'm
read
not
the
sure
comics.
about that.
Where's X-Men based? Like, where do they live? What city
X-Men
are they
is
in?
based on Earth. Like that's the thing. It's not a city. Like it's a worldwide fucking thing. Like,
Yeah.
That's the thing about X-Men. It's like that's why it doesn't make sense to me. That's my whole point.
Yeah,
you
because
know?
in the movie,
There's no like central city for X-Men. Like they go all over.
They
the
go all over, yeah.
globe. You know what I mean? Like.
but what I was gonna say is like because
So they
Spider-Man's
got
in
a
New
jet
York,
and shit.
you know.
Xavier's school is in New York.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
like X-Men
No, New
fly
York
on
City,
their
though.
X-jet all over the fucking place.
I know,
you know
but
what I mean?
that's not my point. My point is like Spider-Man is in New York. They
Oh, yeah,
are
and
in
they
New
don't even
York.
run into each other?
They never
Oh.
see each other. That's what I'm saying. So it's like
Not New York City though.
the state.
Yeah, it's
but in the
yeah.
movie they go to the city because
Yeah,
they're literally
they
he's
fight
like
on top of the fucking
the Statue of Liberty.
Well, it also depends on what universe y'all are talking
Oh
about.
my
too.
God.
No, I mean
Marvel.
Well, that's because of all the different stories told by different like writers and stuff, and then the X-Men movies were completely like whenever they
I'm just
wrote
saying,
the X-Men
any movie
movies.
where they're both in the same room doesn't make any fucking sense to me. It just
Yeah.
doesn't. Like I don't give a shit
Because
if
of
it's
the
happened
X-Men
before.
lore.
It doesn't make any sense
Unless they explain it.
unless you find a way to explain it.
Yeah.
Which I doubt they will.
But that is like he is saying. That's the whole point. You got like fucking Professor X, and then what's his name? The asshole guy, but he's also a good guy.
Who?
The enemy, the Magneto.
Magneto, yeah.
Magneto's like, like if you think of it like it's like Professor X is like Martin Luther King, and then Magneto's like Malcolm X. Like
No, I get that whole.
Yeah,
thing. Where
but-
did the lore? I mean, but the lore
They
that
did
y'all
it-
are talking about,
they
where
did
did it come
cool
from?
in the new Doctor Strange movie where they fucking have the fucking Xavier cameo. You know what I mean? But that's like a fucking multiverse hopping situation.
Yeah.
Which I think makes sense. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
that's
because-
the only way you're gonna have
well,
those two worlds intersect.
well,
Is
and
like
that's
a
what's-
Doctor Strange type character fucking.
yeah, because
sending
they
you
shows
through
up and he's like, "Wow, you're actually loved in your universe." You know, like that. I guess that could be the thing. Like maybe Wolverine gets somehow into the Spider-Man universe. He's not actually. They're not in the same universe. Like he somehow pops up there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, or I really think knowing
Wait, actually, that
Insomniac
can't
and
work.
how many liberties they're willing to take.
I mean, there's lots of universes where they both exist because there's lots of comic book
No,
stories.
but what I'm
both of
saying
them-
is like, yeah, but even all that aside, the Insomniac guy said it's in the same universe.
yeah, 1048.
yeah.
They're in universe.
How come you haven't
1048.
run into them in the game in Spider-Man games? then?
Because that's what I'm thinking is that they're probably not as big of an organization in this game, or maybe the X-Men don't exist in this game.
Yeah, it
maybe
could just
it's
be Logan right now.
Yeah, maybe it's just Wolverine, or maybe this is like how X-Men got formed, or maybe it's like a fucking totally different thing altogether. You know what
Well, I mean, it's a
Like-
completely different Spider-Man story than we've seen, so it could just be a
That's true.
completely
But to
different
have
Wolverine
a
story.
Wolverine game without other X-Men in it would just be silly.
I mean, that's what the Wolverine game was.
What?
There
The
wasn't.
Origins game?
Yeah, wasn't it
But that
just
was a
Wolverine?
movie tie-in, and it did have other like mutants that were recognizable in it. It just
Yeah.
like, there was like what's Lady Deathstrike and shit. Like there was a bunch of like.
There's
comic
definitely
book-
going to be other like. That's the thing. This Wolverine game is going to be completely about X-Men stuff happening because it's a Wolverine game.
Yeah.
So like, it just doesn't
Maybe-
make sense.
maybe.
Like it like. He's just chilling in a bar, like as Wolverine, and like Spider-Man's never seen this dude. Like, I don't know.
Well, who's to say that they're even going to see each other in the same game though? Because I mean,
It's
it
in the
depend-
same city.
No,
They're station. There's
Might not be though because
no, they didn't.
Wolverine has been traveling the continental fucking United States forever before he hooked up with the X-Men. You know
Yeah,
what I'm
yeah.
saying? Like we.
He was
you
in
know,
different war
I was
wars
gonna say
and
they
stuff.
didn't even find him in the first X-Men movie, and he was like in a fucking bar in some other fucking state.
He's always
like,
in a
fucking
bar,
fighting
yeah.
somebody.
Well, he's
you know what I-
Canadian too. He's,
Yeah,
yeah, that's what it is.
And all the fucking adamantium bone shit happened in a lab in like Siberia or some shit. You know what I mean? So
Yeah. Imagine being mad you're like immortal, dude. Just like brooding about it all the time. It's like, look what they did to me. I'm fucking awesome. I hate it so much. Oh, it's so cool. Kill me now. I don't understand. But anyways, yeah, like yeah, it'll be interesting to see how that plays out because you know that game's gonna be badass no matter what.
no doubt.
I just want to know how.
excited.
If anybody who could create a new version of the X-Men world to like incorporate itself into an existing Spider-Man universe, it would be Insomniac. They're good at taking smart risks with their storytelling. You know what I mean?
Definitely. Anyways, is it me?
I think it might be me.
It wasn't me.
It's Brent.
It wasn't me. All right, let's see. Late Monday morning, Prime Video announced that its live-action adaptation of the Fallout video game series has a release date.
Oh, sweet.
The new series from Westworld creators Jonathan Nolan and Lisa Joy will premiere on April 12th, 2024.
Damn, that's a long ways away.
On what, Prime?
Prime.
Yeah.
Let's go.
The Prime series will be an original story based on part of the game lore, but not an exact adaptation of the games themselves.
Good.
Well, yeah. How would you even do that?
Yeah, that'd be silly.
It's like everybody had
find
a
my-
different experience.
I must find my father
Yeah.
or son if you're in 4.
I think it'll be good.
I think it'll be good too. I
It-
could see it being fun. You know what I mean? Like, there's a lot to work with. Like, as far as just content to pull from, locations to go to,
I've got a-
fucking things. to do.
Westworld was great.
I was about to say
Yeah.
I've got a lot of faith in the Westworld writers.
Yeah, Westworld was awesome.
Definitely. Okay, dokie. Let me
Fuck
see.
the duck.
This is some pretty big news. For some reason, this was controversial on the internet, just like everything. The upcoming PlayStation 5 Slim has popped up online, and with that comes fresh information about how the optional disk drive will work with the digital edition of the console. The Charlie Intel Twitter account published images of the Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3 PS5 Slim bundle, and eagle-eyed observers noticed a disclaimer that that has set the cat among the pigeons. Can we not use things like this?
That's a first. I've never heard that. Like,
Somebody fire that guy.
He's trying. He was
Who
like,
wrote this article?
yeah, let's figure out. Wesley Yin Poole.
Oh, damn it,
set the
Wesley.
cat among the pigeons.
You know, he's like Googling idioms or
This
whatever.
is the
And
last
he's like,
article we ever let you write, Wesley.
and eagle-eyed observers noticed a disclaimer that has set the cat among the pigeons within the video game community. Quote,
And no, we're not yanking your chain.
This guy's a writer. Google. Anyways, internet connection required to pair disk drive and
that.
PS5 console upon setup. So the smaller PS5 design comes with 1 terabyte storage for the PS5 and PS5 Digital Edition, up from 825 gigabytes on the original versions of the console. And the new model provides the option to add an Ultra HD Blu-ray disc drive to the PS5 Digital Edition. If you buy the PS5 Digital Edition, you can add the Ultra HD Blu-ray disc drive for PS5 later, as it will also be sold separately for $79.99. Once inventory of the current PS5 model has sold out, the new PS5 will become the only model available. We've talked about this, but the thing is, for some reason, people are upset that you have to have an internet connection to pair the disk drive. Now,
Do you
So
have
does
to
it not
like?
plug
Do
in
you
at
have
all?
to have it to like use it all the time, or just
no,
to
just to
pair
pair it.
Oh, that's not that big.
It says word that the optional disk drive requires an internet connection upon setup has raised game preservation fears. Digital Foundry's John Lineman, a longtime proponent of physical game media, called the move, quote, highly concerning and very strange.
It's probably
Uh,
just to keep you from using like third-party external fucking disk drives.
Yeah.
You know, there's probably some sort of like thing in there that sends a code to it.
Authentication.
Yeah, exactly.
that's what-
because you could get a fucking Blu-ray external disk drive for like fucking $20 on Amazon. You know what I'm saying? Like,
It says hardware connectivity shouldn't be determined by a server that may not always be available, he said. Oh, that's why he's saying, because if they shut down the server that it connects to, then you can't access those games that you have on disk So he's like, if this is the case, basically, he said the concern stems from a potential problem years down the line at a time when Sony may have switched its authentication servers off. Perhaps Sony will issue an update at some point to remove the check. But as it stands now,
say if they switch off the authentication servers, wouldn't it just not matter? Like, wouldn't you just be automatically able to pair your thing? Like,
I don't know.
Depends on how the hardware.
surely
is.
Sony would think about that and like fucking deactivate any kind of fail safes that would be like keeping you out if this was like 10 years down the road. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. I don't know. I don't understand that concept. Like,
I think that's a little bit of an unwarranted fear on his behalf, you know. But at the same time, I get where he's coming from. But like, you know.
I think people
it's
just
something
like
that
to.
it was patchable, and it's not like it's not gonna be not an option later. You know what I mean? Like if they wanted to, they could still fucking go in and update the PS3. You know what I'm saying? Like fucking.
I do think it's dumb in one way, in the fact that if you're buying a disc, add-on, then you probably don't have internet. So then, like, you're gonna have to take it to like McDonald's or some shit with a TV, and then like. If you don't have like family that you can take it over to or something, like I don't know. It's just a weird idea, but like it's not that big of a deal.
They should have made it just only slot into like a specific slot that fits nothing else but that drive. You know what I mean? And then you wouldn't have to worry about authentications and all that shit. You know what I mean? Like
yeah, but I'm pretty sure if you bought a brand new like console and just turned it on, it would have like some kind of patch update. Anyways, like you're still gonna have to have internet to even get your console working, right? Or could you just buy
why would you buy the diskless model to begin with if you fucking
don't have
internet?
Or maybe you moved and like, or you have a new job somewhere that you don't get internet, but you're gonna be like on the job living or something. I don't know.
Yeah,
like
there are definitely situations where it could suck.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just a weird situation altogether. Get internet, We live in the future
That's the
now.
solution.
I mean, don't require internet for hardware pairings. Like, I don't know.
I guess you could find a friend with a Wi-Fi hotspot on their phone and like, you know, pair it real quick.
It's hard to not find internet in the day and age we live in, unless I guess you live out in the boonies or something. I
was about to say, some people out in the country still have a little trouble,
Yeah.
Even with stuff like the Starlink and stuff, I've heard of people saying like, I live in the one place on Earth where I can't get Starlink. You know what I mean?
They live in the hollow Earth. Like,
yeah. I was about to say, I've seen some pretty like far out tests of the Starlink and everything, and
yeah.
But you could always just go to AT&T and get like that little hotspot.
Well, that's what
box
the guy
whatever.
who was fucking telling me about his Starlink experience. He said he went to AT&T eventually and got one of those fucking things.
Really?
It's like
it's like
$59
$59 a month
or something. Yeah, and you get just internet. Fucking, you just carry a little box around with you anywhere you want. And
Yeah.
Just pops out internet. It's badass.
Yeah, it just uses the cellular networks, like the 4G, 5G networks.
That's fucking sick, man.
It is.
My parents have Starlink, and that shit works fantastic.
Yeah. It's supposed to work really good if you can, if you get it. He said the guys came out there and put like dishes up, and like their dishes wouldn't lock onto the satellites or something. Like it was a whole thing. Like,
Damn.
What you got?
So, From Software recruitment drive suggests major expansion of Elden Ring and Dark Souls developer. Wait, what? Yeah, and sorry, I read that weird. Major expansion of Elden Ring and Dark Souls developer. A recruiting drive at From Software suggests a major expansion of the developer is underway. As reported by IGN Japan, From Software is currently recruiting employees across several departments as it works on, quote, several new projects. The developer currently has no announced games in development beyond the Elden Ring expansion, Shadow of the Erd Tree. However, and From Software didn't share anything more in the job advertisements either.
Man, let me get up in that shadow of that Erd Tree, bro. That sounds excellent. I can't wait for that to come out.
I hadn't even heard it.
Me either. I didn't
we
know
even
about
cover
that.
the expansion? When was that announced?
It wasn't like an actual expansion. Like are you talking about something that's already come out?
No, Elden Ring expansion, Shadow of the Erd Tree.
They announced this, or it's out?
I don't remember them announcing this or coming out.
I remember something being announced, but I don't remember anything coming out
back
yet.
in February.
Yeah, it was a while back, but like they didn't show anything off of it or anything.
Yeah, it just said the article from February said that it's officially in development.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah,
Which
dude.
I'm down for.
So, but yeah.
So cool.
So yeah, they're ramping up, expanding their studio, and but
I don't understand
nobody's
how
really
it's
sure
taken
what.
them this long to start working on it. It's like, bro, just fucking put that shit out. The game's been out for like a year.
So the roles,
Like-
what they're hiring for though, it says the roles are available in game planning, research and development, programming, character design, background design,
I'll research that
cinematic
shit.
art, motion design, production, sound design, and more than a dozen other departments, certainly suggesting From Software is looking to expand its development capabilities.
That just sounds like they're ramping up for a new game. That doesn't sound like expansion shit. I think they've been working on
Yeah.
DLC already.
I wouldn't be surprised if they expanded a little, though. I mean, up until Elden Ring, they're relatively, like, I wouldn't say like a small studio, but they're definitely not like fucking,
Not
know,
huge.
they're not
Yeah.
big either, you know? And after the success of Elden Ring, I wouldn't be surprised
I'm sure
if
they got a little
like,
bit of money to.
yeah, fluff
Oh,
themselves
yeah.
up a little bit, you know?
But I was just talking about the implications that they're trying to say. How it's like, oh, they're probably working on, the
Oh,
elder
yeah.
tree or whatever. It's like, I seriously doubt that's what all this is for. I think this is to get new games going.
Yeah,
but-
no, I don't. Yeah,
I
But-
think, yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if we see Sekiro 2 and fucking Dark Souls 4 soon. I mean, they got to keep all their good franchises alive. I wouldn't even be surprised if we see a second Elden Ring game at some point.
Oh, of course we will. That's the biggest game ever. I'm sure they're already working on it. That's probably why they aren't doing DLC right now or like taking
Yeah.
forever for it. But the thing is like, dude, I'm so bad about DLC. Like if DLC comes out a year after a game, this one I will just because it's Elden Ring. But like any other game, like if it was a year later, I ain't going back to that shit.
It kind of depends on the game for me.
Yeah.
I almost always play like the Resident Evil DLCs, and I don't know why. I really enjoy those a lot. And let's see. There's a couple other games that I like the DLC for, like Bethesda games.
Bethesda games have
Bethesda
good
always
DLC.
put out really good DLCs.
Man, we're pretty close to that Starfield DLC. I hope they do something really cool, like something
Yeah.
really game changing.
Me too.
But
I
anyway,
just want modding.
Yeah,
that too.
we get the mods going on there, like on the actual, like just easily go to the mods page.
Yeah,
in-game.
integrated mod.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that'd be sick.
yeah.
Word.
I'm out of news.
I'm out
yeah.
of news.
The Switch's online Nintendo 64 library swells this week with the addition of Mario
By one
Party
game.
3.
No, I'm just kidding.
Basically, by one game. It's Mario Party 3 on October
Swells.
26th.
Ooh.
Watch it swell.
I feel like that's a improper use.
Yeah.
Of that adjective.
It's just like it's getting thick. No, but it's there. It's already playable if you've got the expansion plus pack or
I
whatever.
do love Mario Party 3.
That's probably the best out of the old Mario Party.
Out
Like
of the
they're all
N64
good. But
ones?
yeah, I like 3 a lot.
I like, on the N64, I like 3. I
Mhm.
think I like my favorite Mario Party is probably like 5 or 6 on GameCube. I don't know why. I fucking love those games.
GameCube ones were great.
The GameCube ones went hard, dude.
All of them went hard. Then we got Super Smash Bros. Director doesn't see how the franchise can get any bigger than Ultimate. Said nearly 5 years have passed since Super Smash Bros. Ultimate was released on the Nintendo Switch. Since then, fans have been wondering if a potential new entry in the series could ever hope to top what Ultimate has done.
It's kind of got a point. Like, what do you do?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
how
what-
do you
what
even
more?
make that better? Like, maybe better graphics like 10 years from now whenever the shit's just, like, next level again. You know what I mean? But, like,
Yeah,
It's
But I
a-
mean, a lot of the characters in it are already like graphically realized with like in
Yeah.
Ultimate. Like you can't make them look any. Some of them.
well, I mean, if you had, like, hardware accelerated ray tracing on your fucking Switch or something, you could definitely make it look better. You know what I mean?
How
But
many
Yeah.
how many reflections are you gonna have in like the maps? And
not
stuff?
necessarily reflections, but like ambient occlusion, fucking
Also-
volumetric lighting. There's tons of different.
the only thing with that is like Smash Bros. Is all about performance. You're not playing it.
Well,
to,
that's why
like,
I'm saying 10 years from now, whenever
Yeah.
everything is just like super powered. You know what I'm saying? Like
For
we're
sure.
looking at it through the lens.
We're
of
using quantum
today's,
switches,
you know what
dude.
I mean? Like, I'm
yeah.
just saying there's no point in making a new Smash Bros.
Quantum switches.
until like the hardware is just capable of making fucking it crazily like easily. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Well, the series director, Masahiro Sakurai, has spoken his thoughts and doesn't see how the popular fighting game franchise can get any bigger than that. Sakurai pondered once again about the future of the Smash Bros. Series now that Ultimate has given fans most every character and stage they could ever want in a fighting game, from Banjo-Kazooie to Heihachi Mishima from Tekken to even Sora from Kingdom Hearts. He admits that he's skeptical about the development team creating another Super Smash Bros. Title that goes above and beyond what Ultimate did. Huh?
Is Waluigi?
That's all they need. They just need
is
to
he a playable character?
They're
yet?
saving him. He's their ace in the hole.
Yeah, like we're
The
not.
next game, they're gonna cut out like half the roster, but they're gonna add Waluigi.
And it takes up like half of the fucking roster. So, like it's just a big profile of him.
Yeah, all these crazy characters. How the fuck have they not added him yet?
I think it's just because of that reason. They know the hype is so much that they can save it for the next game, and it'll just get memed to shit. But basically, he said, given the strenuous circumstances his dev team went through to add more content to the game during the COVID-19 pandemic, quote, as for what comes next for the Smash Bros. Series, even I'm not sure, Sakurai said. I feel we truly succeeded in making people happy with this game, but now that Smash Bros. Has grown to be monstrous in size, I'd say it's difficult to imagine an increase of this magnitude happening ever again. He added, every time we managed to make a game that I had previously thought impossible, so I can't say for certain there won't be another, but I do think it would be difficult to push it any further than we have. So I think we talked about this before, but they should just go back to like N64 roster, but just make the game super intricate, like bring back some of the older stuff. Like
they're gonna have to cut it back at least on their next entry, and I don't think they'll make another entry until we get a new system altogether.
Which
you know
is
what I'm saying?
like less than a year away, though.
Yeah, but at the same time, like I don't think people are gonna stop playing. I think the new Switch, whenever that comes out, is gonna be backwards compatible. So I don't think it's gonna matter until like the next
or
just
just don't make it backwards compatible and just re-release it like remaster it.
I think they'd be foolish to not make it backwards compatible.
Oh, they would be.
Know what I mean?
But they did the same thing with Switch, and they put out every single like Wii U game on the Switch as a $60 game. Like they just brought it back, and people paid for it again. Like I think the Donkey Kong, the Tropic.
But I'm thinking this is going to be less of like a Wii U to Switch and more of a 3DS to new 3DS.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like I don't think,
oh, for sure.
I think it's going to be more of it's going to be a huge upgrade, but it's going to be like a sidestep also. You know what I mean? Like I don't think we're going to be like, I mean, it's going to probably be called the Switch 2, but like I think it's not going to be too crazy. Like I really think it'll be backwards compatible.
They just call it the Swatch.
The Swatch.
The Switch and the Swatch, dude. But
maybe it'll upscale all your existing Switch games, you know what I mean, or something.
Yeah, I honestly don't know what they're gonna do. I'm interested to see. I'm very hyped for next year's Nintendo news. But anyways, Microsoft is reorganizing leadership in the gaming and marketing departments at Xbox following the completion of its contentious $69 billion acquisition of Activision Blizzard. The Verge published an internal memo from Xbox CEO Phil Spencer today where he wrote to staff that Microsoft will promote Sarah Bond to president of Xbox, putting her in charge of all software and hardware platforms. That, it should be noted, may include the redesigned discless Xbox Series X that could release next year and a next-gen hybrid console in 2028, which both leaked in FTC documents. Matt Booty, meanwhile, has been promoted to president of gaming content and studios, which includes the responsibility of overseeing operations at ZeniMax and Bethesda. The studio will continue operating as a quote-unquote limited integration entity, but will report to Booty. To manage the platform of today and build the platform of tomorrow, we are bringing together the teams that will make that possible, Spencer said in the memo. Sarah Bond will lead this team as president of Xbox, bringing together devices, player and creator experiences, platform engineering, strategy, business planning, data analytics, and business development. Microsoft confirmed that the promotions are accurate, but had no further comment. Bond, who played a major role behind the scenes of the Activision Blizzard acquisition, the first female president in Xbox's 22-year history. As The Verge notes, there will be more women than men in leadership roles within Xbox and Microsoft once Activision Blizzard CEO Bobby Kotick leaves at the end of 2018. He's just like, there's no women while I'm here. None. All right? Until I leave, I don't want to see a single woman in here. But yeah, Bobby Kotick is getting out of there. And it's interesting that they're putting somebody from Xbox over Bethesda and ZeniMax when before they kind of just left them to their own devices. So I'm interested to see what happens with that. But anyways.
Maybe they just don't want another Bobby in the office, you know? They'll probably still let them do whatever they want, but, like, have somebody kind of watching over them all, you know?
But this is over Bethesda, not over Activision. Like,
really?
Yeah, they were just like, hey, Matt Booty's going to go and be, like, the head guy for ZeniMax and Bethesda. But that might be because Pete Hines left and they needed somebody, like, else to be, like, helping. Yeah. But aside from Bond, Jocelyn Main will be chief of staff at Xbox, and Amy Silverman will take on the role of chief consumer sales officer at Microsoft. And at the company overall, Cynthia Lee will be corporate vice president of human resources. Carrie Perez will be general manager of communications, and Linda Norman will be corporate vice president of CELA. They were not lying. That's a lot of women.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Ain't gonna be no fraternizing.
That's probably what I think they were like, we gotta
make sure.
Yeah, there's not gonna be any. It just gets worse. Like they come in, they're just like slapping ass, like to all the guys, like trying to.
They're just grabbing them by the dick.
Complete role reversal.
They're just like, I don't want to go to work.
Tough tits, baby.
Just punches him in the face. They put all the ugly dudes on one side of the room, like. But anyway,
can I put my shirt back on? No.
What? Then what are you going to offer to this company? We've got nothing else from you, Jim. When's the last time anything you put into this game mattered? Huh? But okay. Okay, that's it. I think that's all the news. Everything else is just like minimal bullshit. Doesn't matter. So we're gonna jump into this week's hot releases. We actually got a lot of games coming out this week. We got Dead Island 2 House, which I guess is like the DLC for Dead Island 2. House.
Okay.
It's coming to everything but Switch, obviously, on November 2nd. And then we got RoboCop Rogue City coming to PS5, Series S and X, and PC on November 2nd. Then we got the Talos Principle 2 coming to Series S and X, PS5, and PC on November 2nd. And then we got Vampire the Masquerade Justice coming to PSVR and Quest on November 2nd.
That's going to be sick.
It looks pretty cool. And then we got Microsoft Flight Simulator Dune Expansion coming to Series S and X and PC. You can fly the, what's it called? The
Orthopter. Orthocopter.
The orthopedic copter. And then we got the WarioWare Move It coming to Switch on November 3rd. So we got quite a bit of games.
Ornithopter.
The ornithopter. Yeah. The orthopedic. The orthocopter. But yeah, so anyways, we're gonna round out the show with Brent's Chat GP trivia. We had some terrible time with Chat GPT last week. We tried to do like Disney Channel original movie trivia, and it was like just literally giving fake it was
just making things up.
Yeah,
it was just having fun with it.
You're asking too much of it.
It's like for the luck of the Irish,
it
was like
up movies. Like it was taking movies that weren't the right movie and like saying it was the answer for like different synopsises of like other Disney movies.
Yeah, it was like, what movie is about a guy or a boy who plays basketball but becomes his dog or something like that. It was like it took the idea of Air Bud, but instead of the dog playing basketball, the boy became the dog playing basketball. And then I was like, that's not the luck of the Irish.
Full Metal Alchemist.
All right. Well, okay. I told it to give me questions that it took from Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, but instead it gave me questions based on its idea of Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. So These are conceptually based Who Wants to Be a Millionaire questions.
Like type questions?
Type questions, yes.
Okay, so just trivia.
General knowledge.
Just
yeah.
general knowledge trivia.
Okay.
Question number 1.
Bing, ding, ding.
What is the largest planet in our solar system? Is it A, Venus, B, Uranus,
I know the answer,
C,
but I always want to go
Mars, D, Jupiter?
to Jupiter.
I'm not even going to lie.
I thought it was Uranus.
Uranus wasn't even an option originally. I just had to add it in there.
No, I immediately. The reason I kind of giggled is because I immediately wanted to say Uranus, but it's Jupiter.
It is Jupiter. Okay,
I
I
didn't
got
know
a
that.
couple more for you here.
Okay.
Which gas do planets absorb from the atmosphere during photosynthesis?
Photosynthesis.
Is it A,
Carbon
oxygen?
It
Oh,
is carbon
okay, all
dioxide.
right.
I was going to say
Y'all are-
CO2.
Y'all are too smart for the answers. That's all.
Is it CO2?
CO2. Is
Yeah,
carbon
it
dioxide.
was okay.
Yeah. All right. Question number 3. What is the? No, I'm not even gonna read that one because. Hang on. Let's see. Question number 4. What planet? No, that's too easy. Hang on. Let me
These
ask
are
it to give
not-
harder ones.
Yeah,
Hold
these
up.
are not millionaire
Hold
questions.
up. Hold up. All right. Yeah.
Photosynthesis.
I'm gonna say give me 5 more,
Trivia questions.
but way harder.
Oh God,
But way harder.
what is the square root of pi? No.
Uranus. No, I'm just kidding. It's just every answer.
All right. Here we go. 5 more questions, but way harder.
boy.
All right. Question number 1. What is the most abundant gas in the Earth's atmosphere? Is it A, oxygen, B, nitrogen, C, carbon dioxide, D, hydrogen?
Nitrogen.
It's hydrogen. I'm pretty sure.
Nitrogen.
Devin got it.
It's nitrogen? Okay.
Yeah. All right, question number 2.
Interesting.
Then again, keep in mind, this is all ChatGPT trivia.
Yeah, let's
so-
let's vet our questions. What
I
is
mean, my mind immediately went to nitrogen before you
Yeah.
even said the
According
options.
to ChatGPT trivia, Devin is correct, but you never know with these things. You know, it's one of those things. Sometimes it just is a little off the wall. Although it seems to be being very coherent and rational today.
It is
so-
nitrogen.
It is nitrogen.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
All right, question number 2.
Don't ask me how I knew that.
Which ancient wonder of the world was located in the city of Babylon? Is it A, the Colossus of Rhodes, B, the Hanging Gardens, C, the Great Pyramid of Giza,
The hanging
It's the
gardens.
hanging-
or
yeah.
D, the Lighthouse of Alexandria?
The gardens.
It's the
It
gardens.
is the Hanging
yeah.
Gardens. Yeah, good job. All right, I got a couple more for you here. Let's see. Who was the first woman to fly solo across the
Amelia
Amelia
All
Earhart.
right. That's too easy.
Emilio.
All right, last question. In Greek, this is an easy one. Man,
One more hard one.
There aren't. Okay,
Just
all right, yeah.
be like, give me one hard trivia question.
give me one more, but make it even harder.
I don't think it's good. You're giving it too complicated of a prompt.
All right. Let's see. In the field of mathematics,
Oh boy.
what
my
is
gosh.
the Riemann hypothesis?
The what?
The Riemann Riemann hypothesis.
That's some Busta Rhymes shit. Dude. I don't know.
Is it
Is there a
A,
multiple? Okay, good.
the proof of Goldbach conjecture?
Of course, dude.
Is it B, a solution to Fermat's last theorem? Is it C, a conjecture about the distribution of prime numbers? Or is it D, a theorem about the properties of perfect numbers?
I'm gonna go with C. Yeah, like it just seems the most realistic.
See,
Y'all both going with C?
it's
Oh,
D,
gosh.
isn't it?
Are we both final answer here on C?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, you're both right. It's C.
Okay.
It's like,
All right, now
That was a complete guess.
yeah, it was. It was like the only one that didn't sound insane.
Or based off of another theory, because the first two had names of other theories, and like, why would it have a different name if it was fucking solving the theory?
no, good job, guys. That was a pretty hard question.
Yeah, we actually knew the answer to that one.
Jamel can't even
You
add.
at least use deductive reasoning to like narrow it down.
Yeah.
You know, like good
We've
job.
got logic. We
Yeah.
just don't have the mathematical part of it. You know. But anyways, that's just a theory. So remember, you've been listening to GameSpeak Podcast, courtesy of GameSpeakPodcast.com. The show posts for free every Wednesday on all podcast platforms, but you can watch it live before anyone else on twitch.tv/GameSpeakPodcast every Monday evening at 7:50 p.m. CST. Be sure to join us and the rest of the GameSpeak community at dsc.gg/GameSpeakPodcast. And check out our other video content on YouTube. And if you want to stay up to date with your boys, you can find me on Twitter. Actually, you can't find me on there, but you can find Brent at Brent Has One. That's the number one. And Devin at Devondres. And check out the GameSpeak Podcast Instagram. Until next time, listeners.
Later.